really getting a lot better, and the reason is because we're selling more new cars. More new inventory's rolling in, and with that we get better trade-ins, which are the highest quality used cars we get. They're all going through our shop, getting a high quality inspection from our certified technicians, making sure that everything works and it stops, starts, and steers safely, because we want everything out on the lot to be at a high quality. But we have something for everybody, whether you're looking for a cheap set of wheels just to get around, or you need a new primary car for the family, a new truck for work, whatever it is, I promise we're going to have something for you on our pre-owned lot.
What if someone needs financing or doesn't have the best credit? Can you help them?
Absolutely. Our finance director, Robert Good, is an expert at working with the banks. We've had people who said that they'll never be able to buy a car, drive out of here in a brand new set of wheels. And as we know, the Fed just did another cut in rates, so it's only going to get better as the year goes on.
2800 on the highway, Van Buren. It's Road Chevrolet, where we make car buying great again.
Waldron Wave Rural Connects. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Have you tried the TGI Friday weekday deals? On Monday, they have 50-cent wings, traditional or boneless, 10-piece minimum. Tuesday, cheeseburgers and fries with a fountain drink for $10. On Wednesday, Cajun shrimp and chicken pasta for only $12. On Thursday, enjoy a half a rack of ribs for only $12. Stop by and check out the weekday deals at TGI Fridays, I-540 at Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. In here, it's always Friday.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Big game tonight with playoff implications, Clay. Boise State is visiting UNLV.
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear what he called me? You called me Clay.
What I was hearing was like Clay stuff, you know?
I understand.
It sounded like what I would hear
I
from
know,
Clay.
it got a little dry.
When you went Facebook, I went Clay.
I know, I understand that.
And I look at you as slightly younger than Clay, but when you start talking Facebook,
I'm
you just kind of
younger than
fall
Clay.
into the same category.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Safe Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now,
Can you
Bo.
believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Man, I love Monday mornings because there's always so much to choose from when it comes to selecting show topics. And I mean, we got them today. Clearly, we've got the football game from Saturday. There's a basketball game tonight. A very rare Monday.
Pacific.
Yeah, Pacific.
First ever meeting between these two.
Yeah, so there's some history involved there. And
history will be made tonight.
And then there's Netflix. I don't know if we just ought to get into the Netflix bashing.
Thankfully, we all
right
know,
away. Or
we all know what buffering is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd have been very confused.
Let me tell you
on
what happened.
Friday night.
Let me tell you what
Did you have
happened.
a big gathering?
Well, quick story. Well, maybe not
Friends
quick.
over?
Here's the story. So Friday afternoon, I made a decision. All you guys had talked about YouTube TV.
Oh.
No, hang on. So I decided to bite the bullet. I called the service that I had, and after about 20 minutes of going back and forth about what I thought was a very simple thing, I just decided to hell with this. I'm done with them.
Yeah.
So I spent the next 15 minutes canceling my subscription on the phone. So I sign up for YouTube TV and go out, run around, come back, fights coming on, nonstop buffering. Well, I blamed you guys. I'm just going to I was cussing each and every one of you guys for talking me into YouTube TV. I happened to have some people over.
It was on Netflix.
Well, hang on. I happened to have some people over. And I think one of them said, after about 15 minutes of listening to me just like go nuts, that, it might be Netflix. And, of course, as it turns out, it was. And I watched it, and everything the rest of the weekend was fantastic in terms of my new television viewing options.
You're in.
But you guys on Friday.
We were getting it.
Oh, You were getting it bad. But
you have to have somebody to blame. You know,
well,
that's the way
exactly
life
right.
works.
That's right.
You just got to find somebody to blame.
That's exactly right.
And generally,
and you guys were it for me.
Yeah,
Friday
you don't tell the
afternoon.
person you blame. You just blame them,
That's
like
right.
to yourself.
Well, I'm confessing
Right.
that I blamed you guys. I cussed each
appreciate
of
it.
you individually by name, just so we're clear. And but as it turned out, it was Netflix's fault. And every other once I got on Facebook, I realized I wasn't the only one. And so I knew what was happening.
I'd like to go a little deeper here. How often does this happen where you just, randomly choose someone to blame and cuss them and they never know?
It really doesn't happen that often. It really doesn't. I've mellowed a lot in my older age. I really have.
Okay, that's fair.
And I've learned that all the griping or whatever doesn't change things.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
I've been more in
That is.
acceptance mode.
That is self-awareness.
But Friday evening, I was convinced
Well, I get
I had
that.
made a really bad decision.
There is nothing more frustrating. But very few things are more frustrating than a service that doesn't work. Or a meal that comes out and they left the whatever you didn't want on there on.
Right.
And they doubled it. They no mayonnaise, they put twice as much on there. Oh, we thought you wanted extra mayonnaise. It always happens at the worst time.
It does.
And there you are. And I'm just confused with YouTube TV's connection to Netflix because you realize there's not any.
I realized that during the course of the evening, yes.
like YouTube TV is all the channels on TV.
I understand all that.
And it's like its own app, and then it does have its own app.
I understand.
And then Netflix is its own app.
You have to understand, though, for a generation of us, we've picked up our remote control. We've turned it on. We've clicked the channel. We hit the previous channel. It goes right back to it. There's no going back and, looking for the other app and all this stuff.
Say it again.
It
goes right back to it.
Yeah, it goes right back to it. And so I've had this discussion with people, and we're all in agreement that that's why that ultimately is preferable. But I decided to,
What discussion and who are these people?
Well, my friends, people you don't know. The people that were at my house Friday night.
Yeah, I want to see. Did y'all take a group photo?
Yeah, no, nobody does anything like that at my
house.
No one.
Was anybody really there?
No one of our age says, "Hey, let's take a picture." Nobody does that.
Show of hands if you believe anybody was at Chuck's
There were actually two.
Was
other people. They were family though. They had to be.
I
There.
don't believe
They were going to the game. They had to be there.
Okay,
It was an early
makes
kick.
worse.
But I did. I was.
okay.
Oh, I was mad.
Well, let's get into it for a second.
All right.
What a lame deal the whole way around. And you know what everybody says today when you bring up the fight? Man, those girls right before that was a real good fight. Did you see that girl's eye?
Man, we got reeled in. I mean, we got conned.
Yeah, that was it. What we should have
It was a
promoted
real
that.
good fight.
Yeah, it was.
Should've been the main event.
Well, it was a good fight. Involved a lot of headbutting.
Well,
And a giant gap in Taylor's eye.
Serrano's.
So whatever, I don't know. I couldn't tell you who. I couldn't pick either one of them out of a lineup today. 50 million people watched it.
Couldn't tell you their
60
names.
million people. 60 million are the numbers. 18. That's households that streamed it on Netflix. Chuck, the gate ticket sales to get in AT&T Stadium. People laugh at Jerry Jones, right? Oh, he's $18 million at the gate. It's a record in the state of Texas for a gated event, for a ticketed event. $18 million.
Don't spend it all in one place because it'll never happen again. I say that. Surely we'll never be conned. Surely we'll never be conned that badly again.
It is a referendum. It is a conviction on all Americans, including us.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
We are a bunch of idiots.
We are.
We are. Like, just take a step back and tell me how you would otherwise describe what we did. We are a bunch of idiots. What did we think we were going to see? I'm just asking. What did we think we were going to see?
We are suckers for nostalgia.
We're idiots.
We're suckers for nostalgia. That's what sports fans do. That's why we remember the old days and think we can just snap our fingers and it'll go right back to the way it once was. Tyson's 58. I should have said, as a 61-year-old man, I should have known what this was going to be like. But in my mind, it was Mike Tyson at 25, just like when you're in a bar and you think, well, she doesn't look at you like you're an old man. And it's like, well, of course she does. Of course she looks at you like you're an old man because you are. And Mike Tyson's an old man. And he moved around like an old man. And it was sad, and I hated it. And it was a referendum on the American people. It just was. We're suckers.
We're idiots. The human race, if you didn't know before, we're idiots. Don't feel so bad about yourself. Be nice to yourself because you're surrounded by idiots. It's okay. Bart.
The only saving grace in all of this is that at least almost everybody already had Netflix. And it wasn't it wasn't a pay-per-view.
That's right.
We weren't all shelling out a bunch of cash to watch the event.
Well, plus you had to take a nap if you wanted to make it to the actual start of the fight.
I appreciate
It's ridiculous.
I appreciate the Hail Mary there, and you're right. But here's what I saw. I went over to my friend's house. There are 15 people there. Here's what I saw. We're all there for this big event. This event that's not really a big event. It's dumb. Not only that, we're crowded around somebody holding their phone because it's not buffering as bad as the big screen TV.
That's right. Yep.
And I just took a step back in this moment and I said, what are we doing? What are we watching? Why do we care? What do we think we're going to see?
It's fair. It's fair.
I mean, at least in the WWE, there's like a script.
What's a better show?
And right, they're going to deliver something that might be worth watching. There was nothing in that worth watching. Nothing. It was sad.
It was sad.
I thought, like Tyson looked like he had run up like 1,000 flights of stairs, like in the third round. Couldn't breathe. It was ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then after the fight, he was talking about like fighting again. Like what? Nobody's watching that one, are we? Now that would be really bad. Like if we got duped again. But this, we need to take a step back.
We'll get duped again. Who are we kidding?
Yeah, it's true. Because that's the thing. We don't really learn from our mistakes very well either.
No.
That's so congratulations, America. We did it again. Oh, my. Anyhow, there was a football game over the weekend.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, Arkansas had every chance to beat Texas. I met some, I have friends that are from Ozark, Arkansas. And Brian from Ozark, the guy that calls the show.
He purports to be from Ozark.
He says he's from Ozark. I can't find anybody in Ozark that's ever heard of this guy. I mean, there are Bryans in Ozark. He's not one of them. And so the question, and Ozark's kind of pissed as a town because they don't like the
giving
fact
their
that
community
Brian's
a
giving
black
them
eye.
a bad name.
Yeah.
And so if you know where Brian's from, because I don't think Brian's ever calling the show again because we.
Oh, I don't know. I know he wants to.
Today would be the day.
I know he wants to.
Today would be the day. Arkansas covered. Congratulations to those who had Arkansas covering. They did. What did it go off at 12?
Yeah.
Arkansas covered. We'll come back and take some calls next, Chuck. It's make a point Monday.
Sounds great.
And I'm just, the best thing I've heard today is you got YouTube TV. It's going to change your life.
Well, I've watched television before. It's not like this is the only service out there. You guys are bragging about 4 games at once. I had like 6 before at once. So I mean,
I've watched television.
We're gonna give it a shot.
Well, I've watched television before. That's not what I'm talking about. 6:14. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number 1.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Is your hot water heater letting you down? No one likes cold showers. We want to be able to count on our hot water. That's why Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric has an offer that comes with the peace of mind I value. Get this, for just $17.76, you can get a 40 to 50 gallon water heater fully supplied and installed by their licensed and insured technicians backed by a comprehensive warranty. For less than $2,000? Yeah, price check it. It's a deal. Just log on to gopascal.com and don't worry about hot water anymore.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
You say, well, that's a tough thing to say when we live in a tough world.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911 in addition to AOG. Remember, if you smell gas, act fast. And always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
People who act like they're doing you a favor by being there, those things generally don't work out. What are you laughing about?
I was just thinking about how you come in here every day.
Oh, don't give me that now. Don't give me that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's 19 after the hour. Good morning. Monday morning, National Princess Day. So if you're thinking about princess, make sure, like if you know one, just make sure you let them know how, it's their day.
Happy day, princess.
AKA if you have a daughter.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Let her know it's, today's her day.
Today's
just
an important
like
day
every
for
other
you.
day. Just like every other day. Today is her day. 877-377-6963. Ryan is in Hot Springs. It's a Make a Point Monday. It's what we've dubbed it. I don't know why, but try to make a point. Ryan, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, while I'm thinking about it, I want to make sure I don't forget this. If he does call in, talking about Brian Ozark,
right?
Make sure to ask him about them sacks because he called in on drive time and was very snarky. Said Arkansas would not sack Texas twice, and we sacked them, 4 times?
Yeah, I mean, Texas was lucky to get out of there with a win.
But anyway, I also want to make a comment about the boxing match on Friday. Hey, that's what y'all get. Y'all could have watched UTSA in North Texas.
That's
But y'all had
fair.
to watch that trash.
That's a fair statement. I mean, everybody that watched it that acts like it's not what they expected, I mean, you're right. I'm in that group.
They well, anyway, I just wanted to have a little ha-ha with that. But anyway, I do hope y'all are having a good day. And, I know the game. Well, the game didn't go away. You know, it could have. Obviously, we could have had an opportunity in that game, but I was glad to see the team as a whole get off the mat after the embarrassment to Ole Miss, and I think that's something we can look forward to down these next two games. That we still got some fight and maybe have a chance to make a bowl game and maybe do a little better than this fan base expects. Because you know, a lot of the fan base didn't expect us to make a bowl game, and the opportunity for 7-5 is still there. And to a certain extent, that's technically overachieving. That's my thoughts. I hope y'all have a great day and go Hogs.
Thank you, Ryan. The one thing that I will say coming out of Saturday, and I know this is not, real salve for a lot of people, but if they play defensively against La Tech and Missouri the way they played against Texas, they'll win both those games. Now, I'm not saying they're going to, but if they do, they'll win.
That was a positive take. I'm wondering how people are feeling coming out of the game.
I don't think they're feeling like that. I'm not naive. I don't think people are feeling that way. I do think people were proud of the effort. But, here's the thing. For those of us who've been around a long time, Saturday was the same as it ever was. I mean, that was the Texas rivalry. Anyone who wants to know what the Texas rivalry was like, that game.
Let me say this, but that we haven't gotten into this yet. Let me just say this: the billboard, the digital billboard that was paid for, assuming it was paid for. I mean, I think to rent the billboard you had to, unless the billboard company themselves decided to do this. If you're going to put a billboard out, basically saying the coach should move on or not be here anymore, put your freaking name on it. Like, this is my problem with people and criticism. Like, you get on social media, you create a fake account, and you say things. Like, if you're going to call for somebody else's job and you're going to make a big statement, put your name on it. I am Bart, and I did the billboard. Bart didn't do the billboard. But put your name on it. Like, this anonymous, that's very personal, and you're being anonymous. And I question the billboard company. Like, why are you taking people? Why are you putting that up? Because you only care about money? Like, how does it make anything better?
I guess the thing that
How does it help anything?
Well, I would wonder about this, and I'm not casting blame necessarily, fully anyway, on the sign company. But what if somebody wanted to buy a billboard and call out, every person in the city
their
that
ex-wife.
they don't like,
their
ex-wife,
ex-husband,
their former boss, anyone that they're mad at that week? I mean, is that where we're going now? Would they allow their company to become essentially a clearinghouse for everyone with a gripe, a digital clearinghouse?
let's just make
what
it
I'm
public
driving
figures.
at is the answer is no.
No.
They know they wouldn't. It's only because we dehumanize some of these public figures, we don't think of them as human beings, that we feel completely comfortable selling it to someone. As an individual, we feel completely comfortable buying it. We don't worry about their wives. We don't care about their families. We don't care about how it affects them. Of course, we don't put our names on it either. The one thing that I've always disliked about all the complaining, for lack of a better way to put it, is that the people that gripe about particular figures, they know who they are. They know them by name. They direct their criticism at someone individually, in this case, the head coach. And half the time, the people that are being criticized don't even know who these people are. They use a fake name, say they live in a place they don't live. They hide behind an internet moniker. They don't put their name on the billboards that they buy, try to keep it secret. There's a certain amount of cowardice in there.
And then the national media runs with it on
because
social
it's
media.
low-hanging fruit.
And they say things like, Arkansas fans ready for a change. How do we know that an Arkansas fan bought the billboard? I mean, why don't I buy one today about Brian Kelly and put it in Baton Rouge? And then the national, LSU fans are ready for a change, but and some Arkansas fans are. But the point is, like, it's just What?
All that really was accomplished was the sign company made some money, salesperson made a commission, and we got something to talk about. That's really all that was accomplished.
The truth is, we bought it so we'd have something to talk about.
That's right. I mean,
but it is like I do think if you do something like that, you should put your name on it. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Is that fair? Like if you're going to publicly criticize someone, put your name on it. 877-377-6963. Gentle Ben in Saline County. Gentle Ben, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, guys. I really like what y'all are talking about because I wish that people that used to cut me down on the radio when I was kind of popular or whatever, I wish they would have put their name on the cuts that they give me.
That way you're going to send your boys over there and taking care of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Or they would have taken care of it without me even asking.
Well, that's probably right, too. That's probably right, too.
But anyway, but I got great sons. I got great sons because I'm old, 73. My wife and I are living in a assisted living place, and it's all because of them. And they take care of old dad and mom.
That's great. That's terrific.
So, but hey, I just want to tell y'all that I agree with what y'all are saying about own it, because one thing about radio call-in people like me, most of us give a real name, or my name's not Gentle Ben, but it's Ben, and Benny on my birth certificate, so they know who we are. Because you can't hide the Southern country hillbilly accent. But I'm just saying everything y'all are saying are right. People need to own up, either own it up or don't say it. But I did Saturday. I just had a situation where taking care of my wife and this, that, and the other, where I just couldn't watch the whole game, and I missed most of the first half. But when I went in there the second half, when I could go in and pop in and see what was going on and everything, I was so thrilled. And some people might say, well, you shouldn't feel this way, but I was so thrilled that the score was 13-3, because I thought, man, here it is the second half, and we've got, Texas, number 3 in the country, and as good as I think they are, they've only scored 13 points on us, and I was afraid it was going to be a whole lot worse when I got back to the TV, And then I thought, boy, one touchdown, 13-10, and we scored another touchdown. We're ahead 14-13. I was just pumped and going hog wild and pig crazy,
Yeah,
and,
I mean, Arkansas, 10 straight points in the second half made it a game. And then Texas went down and scored immediately on the ensuing drive, and that kind of took some of the wind out of the sails, but they still had a chance, Chuck. Talon overthrows a touchdown pass, and then they drop the screen pass that C.J. Brown, where you're driving in their territory. You feel like if you go score there, you still got a chance to win the game.
Well, they competed. I mean, it competed from start to finish, and not every play worked out. That's for sure. I mean, there were some plays that went totally wrong, but they competed the entire day, and the defense from the word go, I thought they had a good plan. They executed it well. I'm not sure Texas is as prolific offensively as some of their numbers indicate based on who they played, but I do think they're good. And I thought Arkansas's defense, I thought they acquitted themselves pretty well against them.
JR and Shady Grove, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Morning, guys. How y'all?
Hey, JR.
Good. As far as being prepared for the game, Chuck, I didn't get to watch it. I was in Silver City with my grandsons, but
nice.
I followed it on the tracker. Did it seem like they were prepared for the game? Fairly good?
Oh, I thought Arkansas played with a lot of emotion. I mean, particularly on defense. I mean, that to me is where they set the tone. That's what got the crowd involved in it early on. You had, you forced a punt and got the ball back. Now, if you'd gone down and scored, the place would have gone crazy. But I thought the preparation was good. I don't. There's nothing that I saw Saturday that made me think, man, they just weren't ready to play.
Texas's defense gave Arkansas's offense fits all day. I mean, that was the story. Arkansas couldn't get across the midfield in the first half.
What's the injury report on Braylon Russell? What's the update on him?
Well, he was dinged up some going into that game, and I think he was available. In fact, I know he was available, but they opted to run DeBinion and Jackson a little bit more than Russell. I still don't know how much, Braylon's a freshman, and Braylon's going to have to really commit to getting his body right. If he does, he can be an every down back. Right now, I think he's more of a situational guy, maybe a little more short yardage. But this guy's got over-the-top potential. But I'm just not sure he's quite there yet. That's just my take. But I don't know exactly why he didn't see any more action than he did on Saturday.
Okay. You guys have a good day.
All right,
All right,
JR.
you too,
Thank
JR.
you.
Hey, we're brought to you in part by the Sweat No Edge. Guys, if you're looking for more energy, you don't feel like you've got that same energy that you used to have. Maybe you're just not feeling it. It's all challenges. Those are challenges we all face. Low energy, hair loss, stubborn weight, skin health, all this stuff. If you want to look and feel better, log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com. Click on the Sweat No Edge. Get a free evaluation and find out if you can do something about it. Chances are you can. SweatnumCosmetic.com, the Sweat No Edge. Back with your calls as we react on a Monday. Big weekend. A lot of stuff happened. We'll continue getting into it here in a minute on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I've been waiting to say this for 5 years. Sterling in Center Ridge.
This is quite the coup that they have put together. Bo and Chuck, this is a dream team.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins. Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
I want to make a couple of points here because I have the floor.
All of it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. Join me, Phil, and Dr. Charles Liggett every Monday at 12:15 for my favorite segment, 3 Up, 3 Down.
My second up, T-Will, the game plan that he put together, that was fun to watch.
3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. I'm a patient there, and you can be too. Visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give them a call at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
TGI Fridays on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith now has meal deals starting at $9.99, which includes an entree, side, and fountain drink. Try their delicious 6-ounce sirloin served with seasoned fries for $15.99. The Bacon Ranch Chicken Sandwich with seasoned fries, $11.99. Chicken Caesar Salad for $10.99 and more. Their meal deals also include tasty chicken fettuccine Alfredo served with garlic breadsticks for $12.99 and a cheeseburger with seasoned fries for only $9.99. TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Did your spouse move out and take the Christmas decorations with her? Mock Legal Solutions is here to help with your divorce and your decorations. On Friday, November 22nd, ESPN Radio will be live all day from our conference room in Fort Smith. Tune in or drop in for the morning rush, halftime, and wrap up the day with the ESPN equivalents of Cousin Eddie, Ruskin, and Zach. Sign up on hitthatline.com to register for our Christmas giveaway. Walmart gift cards and one fully decorated Christmas tree will be given away. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
You serious, Clark? You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Would you be caught alive in Hey Dudes?
Hey Dudes are real shoes. I don't know that Crocs always are.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck got YouTube TV over the weekend.
I did. It was
big Friday night.
Yeah, Netflix. Mike Tyson.
What a fight.
What a moment.
That's one way to say it.
When was the exact moment Friday night that you realized you'd been conned? I mean, seriously, let's just pose that question. At what moment Friday night did you realize you'd been taken?
It's a good question.
It was the buffering for me.
Me too.
It was the buffering.
Yeah.
Me too.
Early on when you, like, even before the fight, like when there were, and that wasn't a fight. We got to call it something else. The exhibition.
Well, and I began to wonder.
The cash grab. Joe Tessitore called it.
Yeah. He did.
He's told us exactly what was going to happen.
Well, I think they delayed it so much they were just waiting on all of us to go to bed. Which, I mean, what was it, like 11 o'clock? Oh, yeah. I mean, it was.
They weren't ready for that.
No.
I don't know how, and they may have known it going in.
Let's just
how
forget.
Could they not have known
let's just forget about Netflix and the NFL for the time being. Can we do that?
Well, not really, because you're not going to have that many viewers. You know, that's like you can't go broadcast something like stream something like that to the world. It's going to be like Super Bowl-ish numbers.
Is this going to happen on the Super Bowl on
we're all a bunch of idiots.
TV? Is this going to happen during the Super Bowl?
No, not on YouTube TV.
Not on YouTube TV.
Right.
No, but on Netflix
If
streaming.
Netflix had it, it would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not technically savvy enough to know exactly what their bandwidth issue is, but YouTube TV does not face the same thing. It's a different setup, right?
Correct.
In the way that it's distributed.
Correct.
Brent is in. Well, let's go to Eddie first. Eddie's up there in Clarksville. Hey, Eddie, how are you?
Eddie actually lives in Clarksville. He's a real person.
He's not Brian.
He's not Brian from Ozark.
Good morning, Eddie.
Good morning, gentlemen, and good morning to this great fan base, which is very passionate. You know, I talked about last week trying to get the team fired up to play with two things, pride and passion. And so this is one of the most passionate rivalries in all of college football that's just got renewed. And I grew up with it. And it meant something to the working, as I said last week, it meant something to the working class people and the good people of this state. It was something to hang their hat on when we were in the Southwest Conference. And you talk about the two legendary coaches that did great works for the program, Frank Broyles and Darrell Rule. Now you look at, Saturday, I had a lot of Texas friends just as passionate about the Longhorns as I am the Hogs. And I wake every day passionately about my football program because it meant something to me. My family made sure it meant something to me because we gathered around that old, if we couldn't attend the game, we gathered around that old RC console. And friends and family, there were signs in the neighborhood, Big Texas. And you know, evidently we come up a little short Saturday. But I can say this, the team did play with pride and passion. But I want to talk about something, gentlemen. Just give me a little extra time this morning. I love this program. I know them out there that grew up with this program, love this program. I know they're hungry for a winning program. And you talk about, even though it was a competitive game Saturday, it's an inconsistency in our program, especially our football program. You know, we got Louisiana Tech coming in Saturday. What will it look like? It sounds like to me, Mr. Yurchek is waiting to see if we're going to struggle to beat Louisiana Tech or even get beat by them. But that's what I'm talking about, the inconsistency in our program. We're liable to go to Missouri and get our doors blown off. A program that we struggle to beat, that we should beat. And you talk about Frank Broyles. Let me tell you what about Mr. Broyles. God bless you, sir. He did not tolerate mediocrity in our football program. I want to talk about facts today. You know, much as I love Coach Pittman, I'm not going to cry for him if there's a coaching change. We made him one of the richest football coaches in America. And so him and Miss Pittman can travel the world in the 7 seas and live in luxury. But I care about, as nice as guy as he is, I care about wins in my program. I'll be 60 in January, and I'm beginning to wonder if I'll ever see at least a 10th season in a football program. And that is attainable under the right coach and leadership. When we lost Frank Broyles, we definitely lost leadership. The last 3 coaching hires have made a testament to that. Let me tell you, I'm no preacher. John chapter 10, verse 11, talked about the good shepherd. You've heard me say this before. What does a good shepherd do? Well, he oversees the flock. And what is the flock in our program? Our football program. It's a football team. And as an athletic director, Mr. Yurchek, you're supposed to oversee that. And we used to be, I'm going to state 3 facts today. Number 1, between 2008 and 2010, 7 in that ballpark range, we were in top 8 nationally in all of revenue and all of college football. What has happened? Let me tell you something else. Coach Pittman at home has a record of 14 and 28. And if you do the math, that's a 33% win percentage. That's unacceptable. Let me tell you something else, number 3. You know, what did we give up Saturday? We gave up 6 sacks. We gave up, 9-10 tackles again behind the line of scrimmage. And you talk about Taylor Green. Well, maybe his play would be better if we could block. Let me tell you something. That's unacceptable. We have one of the worst offensive lines, not only in the SEC, but the entire college football. And here's what's against me. Coach Pittman, you've had 3 years, sir, to fix the offensive line. I did a little research. When I talk about the Good Shepherd, is that overseeing our program? Let me tell you something. Vanderbilt has surpassed our program, and that's unacceptable, number 1. Number 2, you know, we're expected to beat teams like Missouri. That's unacceptable, too. And if we struggle next week at home against Louisiana Tech, you talk about we can't afford to fire them? What you talk? We can't afford not to. I don't agree with the billboard. If I say something, I'll come out, be man enough to say it publicly. Let me say this. You may disagree with it or not. I care about wins in a program. And then last in the SEC title with Mississippi State. It's not acceptable. And you can agree with it or not. And I'm telling you this right now. Our football program is a lot better than that. And as I look at the heavens above, Frank Broyles, he built a legacy. He built those facilities, and all the players that I take great pride in that have built that program up there. And I'm asking you today, there is a time for change. And Coach Simmons had 5 years, and the offensive line for the last 3 never gets addressed. And I'm telling you that's unacceptable. I'll tell you something else. Listen, you know, our program's better than that. I expect our program to compete with Missouri, to compete with Vanderbilt, and beat Mississippi State, and to beat Ole Miss year in and year out. And that doesn't take place. And you talk about why our programs and the football program and the shape it's in. I heard Dr. Phil say this the other day. You can't change what you don't know it. And so, what does Mr. Yurchek do? I did a little research on Mr. Yurchek. Listen to this.
No, Eddie, we got to stop. We just have to take it. We're going to take a collective breath and be back in a moment on the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Everyone remembers the Florida A&M game, and later became known here in Pulaski County as Rattlergate.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Did you know the CDC reports as many as 3 out of 4 Americans suffer from sleep disorders? The more severe condition is called obstructive sleep apnea, and if left untreated, can increase the risk of death by 17%. It can also lead to conditions like obesity, high blood pressure, heart condition, and stroke. If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options, and thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies provided by one of our own Arkansas surgeons, Dr. Scotty Bolding, there are alternative treatments that may eliminate the need to wear CPAP every night. Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better. Call Dr. Bolding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state, and you can add Flyway Brewing to the list, a craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013. With popular flavors like Blue Wing Berry Wheat Ale, the Honeybird Blonde, and the Early Bird IPA, there's no shortage to enjoy a tasty craft beer flight at the Flyway Brewery in Fayetteville, 1550 East Zion Road, or in North Little Rock at 314 Maple Street. Flyway Craft Beer, also available in restaurants and stores everywhere. Is your hot water heater letting you down? No one likes cold showers. We want to be able to count on our hot water. And that's why Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric has an offer that comes with the peace of mind I value. Get this, for just $17.76, you can get a 40 to 50 gallon water heater fully supplied and installed by their licensed and insured technicians, backed by a comprehensive warranty. For less than $2,000? Yeah, price check it. It's a deal. Just log on to gopascal.com and don't worry about hot water anymore.
We want to make sure that you can read some ludicrous lyrics on his 47th birthday today.
I can do that one. Roll out, roll out. The Chuck and Bo Show.
The best things never change, they just get better. Like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99.
Choose from juicy charbroiled double cheeseburgers, melty hot ham and cheeses, or hand-breaded chicken tender wraps. 2 full-size favorites plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. There's no skimping in this bag. No junior burgers or tiny nuggies, just full-size goodness for big-time value. The $6.99 original bag, only at Hardee's. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Here with Grant Neal, General Manager at Rhodes Chevrolet. Grant, it looks like your quality and quantity of pre-owns just keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's really getting a lot better, and the reason is because we're selling more new cars. More new inventories rolling in, and with that, we get better trade-ins, which are the highest quality used cars we get. They're all going through our shop, getting a high-quality inspection from our certified technicians, making sure that everything works and it stops, starts, and steers safely, because we want everything out on the lot to be at a high quality. But we have something for everybody, whether you're looking for a cheap set of wheels just to get around, or you need a new primary car for the family, a new truck for work, whatever it is, I promise we're going to have something for you on our pre-owned lot.
What if someone needs financing or doesn't have the best credit? Can you help them?
Absolutely. Our finance director, Robert Good, is an expert at working with the banks. We've had people who said that they'll never be able to buy a car, drive out of here in a brand new set of wheels. And as we know, the Fed just did another cut in rates, so it's only going to get better as the year goes on.
2800 Alma Highway, Van Buren. It's Rhodes Chevrolet, where we make car buying great again.
Did your spouse move out and take the Christmas decorations with her? Mock Legal Solutions is here to help with your divorce and your decorations. On Friday, November 22nd, ESPN Radio will be live all day from our conference room in Fort Smith. Tune in or drop in for the morning rush, halftime, and wrap up the day with the ESPN equivalents of Cousin Eddie, Ruskin, and Zach. Sign up on hitthatline.com to register for our Christmas giveaway. Walmart gift cards and 1 fully decorated Christmas tree will be given away. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
You serious, Clark?
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I'd like to apologize to anyone who's been offended today by the silliness of the show.
Thoughtful analysis is what we're known for here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, we got to have a correction. Let's go to the situation room. But it's not really a situation. It's the correction room right now. Go ahead, Bart.
Yeah, that's right. Just
clarification room.
Can't chase them all down.
No.
On Eddie's call.
No, there was a lot to unpack there. An awful lot to unpack there. Maybe we will, maybe we won't.
Yeah.
But Sam Pittman at home as the Razorback head coach, 15-15. I believe Eddie said 14-28 or something like that.
Not where you want to be.
No,
but
obviously still not good,
Yeah.
but a very big difference that needs to be pointed out.
That's fair.
Heath is in Cabot. Heath, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Heath?
Going once.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Melvin and Sheridan, Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
We've got issues.
Yeah.
We've got issues.
Melvin?
Going once.
Netflix has taken
Going
over the
twice.
phone lines.
Everything's buffering.
Netflix is on it now. Yeah. Well, Eddie threw in there something, and you mentioned this during the break, and people are already talking about if Arkansas loses to Louisiana Tech. Why would you think Arkansas is going to lose to Louisiana Tech?
What
would make you think that? They're a 21.5-point favorite. Louisiana Tech just scored 12 points against Western Kentucky. 12-7.
Louisiana Tech is a very not good football team.
I'm not knocking Louisiana Tech. I would say this regardless of who they're playing this week. Well, if you think they're going to lose and that's going to be grounds for dismissal, let's go ahead and let them lose. And by that I mean let's go ahead and let the game play out. I mean, you're saying if they get beat by, well, they've not gotten beat by Louisiana Tech, or they're liable to get beat by Louisiana. Well, lots of things are liable to happen that don't happen. So, I mean,
lots of things are liable to happen.
That
don't happen.
Yeah, I mean, let's let it all play out. Let's not just assume that. The worst thing that could possibly happen is going to happen on Saturday.
Let's try this again. Melvin and Sheridan, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Go ahead.
Guys, I apologize. Life was happening when y'all pulled me up.
That's all right.
Here's what I got. There ain't no need of complaining if you ain't contributing to the NIL. There's no need.
Turn your radio down.
I did.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead.
But anyway, if you're not going to contribute to the NIL,
and I don't. I'm not trying to be. I'm not for it. I'm totally against it. But I know you get, when you go to the grocery store, you get what you can afford. And these people that are on this radio station harping and crying and blowing a head gasket that don't pay a dime, what are you complaining about? You get to watch them on TV, and it don't cost you nothing. It's either support the program or don't. Stop all this whining and belly aching about how they played. I thought they played great with the grocery list he had to play with. I can accept that. I'm not a hypocrite. I don't put money out on that NIL, and I don't sit around and gripe because they're not very good. I think the basketball and the baseball team is where the money's being spent. You can see that, and it's worth being spent there. But you cannot fire Pittman until you get that NIL up there good enough to get a coach. And the reason Pittman is our coach is because we won't have anybody wanting that Arkansas job up there, and I can accept that too. And I'm going to tell y'all good morning, and I appreciate y'all listening.
Thanks, Bowman. Appreciate the call. 877-377-6963. Interesting opinion, one we haven't heard a lot of from callers here on the Chuck and Bo Show. It's Monday. Netflix is still buffering. Arkansas lost by 10 to Texas, and we're talking about it all. Approaching 7 o'clock. Good morning.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
We are possibly entering what could be a golden age in Razorback athletics.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, clouds, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the upper 60s north, mid-70s south, with the potential for some heavier rain. Partly to mostly cloudy skies. Chance of seeing some showers tonight. And overnight low will drop down to right around 50. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open?
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
TGI Fridays on Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith has an incredible lineup for their meal deals. This includes crispy chicken fingers for only $9.99, served with seasoned fries and coleslaw. Whiskey glazed chicken slammers, $10.99. Buffalo chicken slammers, $10.99. Grilled salmon for $15.99. And Friday's big ribs for $14.99, all served with a side and fountain drink. Don't miss out on their happy hour, karaoke on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and 50-cent wings on Monday. TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue, Fort Smith.
Did your spouse move out and take the Christmas decorations with her? Mock Legal Solutions is here to help with your divorce and your decorations. On Friday, November 22nd, ESPN Radio will be live all day from our conference room in Fort Smith. Tune in or drop in for the morning rush, halftime, and wrap up the day with the ESPN equivalents of Cousin Eddie, Ruskin, and Zach. Sign up on hitthatline.com to register for our Christmas giveaway. Walmart gift cards and one fully decorated Christmas tree will be given away. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
You serious, Clark?
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal.
Call or text today at 479-719-5605.
That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
We're running out of time for the fall foliage.
The fall what?
Foliage.
Okay. Is it foliage or foliage?
It's foliage.
Foliage.
It's three syllables.
Foliage.
Foliage.
like poinsettia.
Foliage. It's foliage.
Foliage. It's foliation.
Foliage.
Foliation.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Save Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now,
Can you
Bo.
believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
New week. Same as it ever was. Or so it seems.
Well, you know, it's interesting what's happening in college football, and every week somebody's getting beat because not everybody can win. Like you put two teams on the field, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. And it's really interesting to me that as fans, we fail to understand that. We just have a really hard time understanding that somebody's got to lose and somebody's going to win. And then we have a really hard time apparently understanding that nobody upsets everyone. When you're the underdog, you're not always going to win. When you're the favorite, you're also not always going to win. But when you look at the SEC standings right now, Arkansas, if they win against Missouri at the end of the year, they'll have finished in the middle of the pack. The problem is the best teams play in this league. And if you're not in the top 4 or 5 of this league and you got to play those teams, you're going to have 4 or 5 losses. So what you're always asking as an Arkansas fan is how do we become a top 5 team?
That's right.
That's what you're really asking.
Right. When you say compete in the SEC, which is what the billboard said, by the way, you might as well just be saying that 5 years is enough time for you to compete for a national championship. That's basically what you're saying when you say that. Because if you compete in the SEC, you're going to be ranked in the top 7, 8, 9, 10 teams in the country. You're going to be in the playoff in all probability.
There's a stat that only 2 teams have played 6 ranked opponents at the time of the game this season. Arkansas is one of them. South Carolina is the other. You've played more ranked teams at the time of the game.
Well, and virtually all of them for Arkansas have been, they played the better teams on their home field. Now, some would say, well, that gives you a chance to pull off an upset. Well, theoretically, yes, it does. But they're still better than you are.
Look, A&M, Tennessee, still in the playoff hunt, both of those teams. LSU, well, LSU is not still in the playoff hunt. But
they were in it a lot longer than most.
Well, and they were a top 10 opponent. Were they not playing? If they were in another league, they'd probably still be in the playoff hunt.
That's right.
Ole Miss, Texas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that have been in the playoff hunt all year that you've played.
And 4 of them are probably going to be there.
877-377-6963. I want to get into this topic later. We'll take calls for now. But this idea of accepting mediocrity, and if you think Arkansas played well or it was, you weren't, as a fan, you weren't extremely, you always are disappointed to lose. But we've had a couple of calls today that have been like, well, they played hard, man. They were right in the game. I wasn't disappointed with the effort. And then we're getting immediate texts that say, it's that kind of attitude that's why you're always going to be mediocre. You guys just accept mediocrity, and that's the problem.
We've been having this same argument for 30 years. I mean, we have been. And it's just that's part of the price of being in the SEC, is that whether you like it or not, middle of the pack is still better than most. And people don't like that. People do not want to hear that. They want to be in the top group. They want to be among the teams that get talked about every week. And this league is it's going to be tough for that. Look at Oklahoma. It's going to be tough for that to happen.
See, now we're into it. Now I can't help it.
All right, go ahead.
So, what about the rest of the parts of our state? What are we saying that we're best at? When we look around our restaurants, I'm not saying we don't have great restaurants. We just have less of them. But when you walk around our state, why are we not upset that we're not L.A. and New York? And I'm not talking about the bad things that come with L.A. and New York. I'm talking about why you go to those places on vacation. But we don't look around at our state and go, man, we got to be number 1 in anything else. When we can point to Tyson and Walmart and these things that have happened out of here that are number 1. But nobody wants to be middle of the pack. But what about the rest of our state that we love so much? Why are we okay with what we have? We go on vacation to other places, and that's great. We don't come home and go, man, this just sucks. I just hate it here. But when our football team plays at that exact level, well, everybody's got to make a change. So then we say, oh, you're just happy accepting mediocrity. Nobody's happy. Everybody wants better. I think it's called being reasonable. It doesn't mean that it's accepted, that you accept it, that you don't try to get better. But the idea of saying, hey, man, they played tough. They played well, didn't play well enough. Texas was better. Everybody knew Texas was better coming into the game. Both things can be true. You can want to be better and still think they gave good effort on Saturday. Brent is in Searcy. Hey, Brent, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning. Good morning, Chuck and Bo.
Hey, Brent.
I was at the game. We did play better. Texas was just a better football team. They were in control of the game, the whole game. The one thing I will say is I'm tired of hearing about moral victories. I'm tired about hearing about moral victories. I can't wait to get on the other show today at 4 o'clock because there's one guy in the state that loves moral victories. And who's that, Chuck?
I don't know. Who? You tell me.
On the show at 4 o'clock.
He's not taking.
I'm not promoting. So I'm not. Say what you're going to say, Brent. We all know who you're talking about.
We don't talk about other shows unless we have to.
Schaefer, he loves moral victories. Moral victories are vastly overrated, and we are at a point where we've got to decide. Do we want to do it? I don't think change will be made this year.
What are you saying? What are you saying though? Like you can't. Like you just said it. You said, well, they played a good game. They lost to the better team, and then you say, well, we got to do something about this.
But a 15-15 record at home is unacceptable for a 5-year head coach. You'll agree with that.
Not really. Who do you play? Who do you play at home? I mean, there's some games in there how many games in there did you lose that you were supposed to win? I mean, I get what you're saying, but if theoretically you're a 500 team in the SEC and half those games are at home, what do you think the record should be?
Well, I just want hope, and I'm not sure that our athletic director. I'm not advocating putting up signs, but I think that we have become to the point as an athletic department that we're okay being in the middle of the road.
What do you mean? Like why do you think that? Like what makes this is the thing I don't understand that people bring up. Like so what you're saying is this is what I would just ask anybody. Hey, we need to get somebody in here. And look, I'm not saying Sam Pittman's the answer forever on Arkansas football. I'm not even weighing in on whether he should remain the coach, retire, whatever. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the idea that people say we've got to be better. And what you're really saying is we've got to be better than we've ever been. We've got to do things that have never been done here. And don't throw 1 10-win or 2 10-win seasons out of the entire history of being in this league. Don't throw those at me because that's a unicorn. So what you're asking for is a unicorn. Everybody wants a unicorn. Everybody has unrealistic things. I would love to have a helicopter. Just pick me up and take me places. That would be great. For me to sit in my front yard and wait for it to show up is dumb.
Well, I hear what you're saying, and I'm going to continue to support the Razorbacks and love the Razorbacks, and that's all I can say.
All right, Brent.
Thanks for
you.
weighing in, Brent.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
the call.
Charlie's in Camden. Charlie, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
You guys want me to lighten this mood up? Just a little bit?
Please. My God.
My helicopter's almost here.
You just sitting there waiting on it.
I gotta go. It's coming. Every time one flies by, I just go like, oh man, it's coming. It's gonna be here.
Look, this is if you think about, and I know I'm young and all that, but back when Houston Nutt was here, you guys could speak on this. People were saying some of the same stuff, right? And I mean, because they couldn't, the idea was, we couldn't get past 8-3, right? Back when they played 11 games, or 7-4. Back when he was here. So I think the idea is everybody, as you said, Bo, wants better. I don't think there's anybody on the campus that's just sitting there like, okay, yeah, I'm okay with going 6-6 every year. I don't buy that. I just think that, you hope you can sprinkle in a few years here and there where you do better. But I'm not buying this whole idea that everybody thinks that that's okay. And everybody's just sitting up there on the hill like, yep, we're going 6-6 this year, guys. We're going to put that on the board over here. That's our record. And everybody's okay with that. I don't buy that. I think I don't know what to say, guys. It's frustrating to lose games. But, yes, on Saturday they went out there and they fought. Hey, Chuck, tell me on the play to Satania, I couldn't see it, but somebody was saying on Twitter that he kind of misplayed that ball. Like he kind of slowed down. I didn't see it, or was the ball truly overthrown? Because I know everybody wants to blame Taylor.
It was overthrown. He wasn't going to catch that pass.
Okay. And I get it. You know, you're going to miss some throws every now and then, but, you know, he was under duress all day. What I will say, I don't understand the idea of why we maybe didn't help our right tackle a little bit more when he was struggling. And listen, that's just me, you know, talking about coaching a little bit. And also, I can throw in there, I'm not talking crap about the kid. I hate it for the kid. But why are we throwing a screen pass to him in that situation? Him just coming off the bench like that, you know?
Let me address that right there. Just, you can go on after this. But I know that raised some eyebrows, and it's, you know, what I call low-hanging fruit. But Pittman said this after the game, and he's right. Anybody that's been on a team knows this. When you put a kid out there, you don't put him out there unless you're prepared to throw him the ball. And they obviously were prepared to throw him the ball. Now, did he fumble, make a mistake? Is it easy to look back on and say, why'd you throw it to him? It absolutely is. But this idea that you just put a guy in there because somebody can't go that play, that's not how it works. There are lots of games out there where a guy's just inserted into the ball game, and that's where you go, either to pick on or to go at the guy you just brought in. And so I don't buy that argument. I know a lot of people have brought it forth, but I can't go there with people on that one.
And I'm not trying to talk negatively about the kid or anything like that. I know people would do that, but I guess I'm just a little bit frustrated by it. We were moving the ball. I just felt like if we would have scored there, we had a chance. But, hey, it is what it is. Came up short, hung in there with one of the best teams in the country, in my opinion. And give Texas credit after we cut it to 3, making that long drive like that. And our defense, lights out. They did a heck of a job. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
All right, Charlie.
And everything's a bad call when it doesn't work. If you put that kid in the game, he has his first touch and he springs it for a touchdown. Nobody's like, man, I can't even believe they have him in there.
The play worked until he fumbled.
Yeah,
the play worked until he fumbled.
I would assume he does ball security drills just like every other receiver on the team does.
Well,
it happened. Like it just.
He's a good player.
Same way Taylor.
He's a good player. They've liked C.J. Brown from the minute he came on campus. I can remember asking about him in August. Just I didn't know if he was going to play or not. I said, "Tell me about C.J. Brown." I said, "He's good. He's going to help us." And he's a good player. Now, obviously, again, if you don't think a guy can make a play, then don't put him in.
Well, it's interesting how we choose to blame coaches or players.
Well, of course.
Like we keep talking about and I appreciate that he's trying not to blame players, but what you're really doing is you're blaming him for fumbling, which is fine. He did. He fumbled. It's his mistake. But don't put it on the coaches. Is it all on the coach? Is everything on the coaches? So is it Bobby Petrino's fault that Taylor hasn't developed better? Or is it Taylor's fault? The reality is these things happen. And when you go look at other teams, you're seeing the same thing happen in other games with really good teams. The question is, are you getting better? How do you get better? And everybody's got to, that's part of the discussion. And that's what Hunter will be talking to Sam about at the end of the year. And what's the plan for next year? That's the AD asking the head coach. More of your calls coming up. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank. Bank better at First Security Bank. Member FDIC, fsbank.com. Local, friendly banking with convenient locations. First Security Bank, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I think that allowing him to call in occasionally is a healthy reminder of why you don't like Texas. Is your hot water heater letting you down? No one likes cold showers. We want to be able to count on our hot water. That's why Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric has an offer that comes with the peace of mind I value. Get this, for just $17.76, you can get a 40 to 50 gallon water heater fully supplied and installed by their licensed and insured technicians backed by a comprehensive warranty. For less than $2,000? Yeah, price check it. It's a deal. Just log on to gopascal.com and don't worry about hot water anymore.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978. Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
I like craft beer. I do. You guys always think I'm like the biggest dork on the face of the earth.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure and get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet. No, Mom, he's referring to football season. Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes? Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white. We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner. Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based gram
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Go Hogs!
Did your spouse move out and take the Christmas decorations with her? Mock Legal Solutions is here to help with your divorce and your decorations. On Friday, November 22nd, ESPN Radio will be live all day from our conference room in Fort Smith. Tune in or drop in for the morning rush, halftime, and wrap up the day with the ESPN equivalents of Cousin Eddie, Ruskin, and Zach. Sign up on hitthatline.com to register for our Christmas giveaway. Walmart gift cards and one fully decorated Christmas tree will be given away. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
You serious, Clark?
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I knew I had to show up because after Chuck does a game, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't feel like there's a world where Chuck is not showing up and also lets us know.
That's true. If I don't show up, you need to try to contact me because there's an issue.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Brad's in Mountain Home. Brad, welcome in. It's Monday. Chuck and Bo Show, 723. Good morning.
Good morning. I appreciate you taking my call. Hey, Arkansas football in the SEC is our money generator. I think we all know that, right? I mean, compared to all other sports combined, what brings in the money to the university is this football program. And we know that. And we also know there's only so many 5-stars. There's so many coaches out there. We can blame coaches. Our coaches coach the players that they have. No doubt about that. We could take our same coaches and our same players and get into another league. I think they would excel, as they are. Our fan base would be happy because the winning side of the program would all of a sudden shoot up, and we would have those numbers of, oh, look, they're undefeated against these teams that they play. But we've made a decision to be in the SEC. We want the SEC experience. Our other programs thrive in the SEC, and we'd like to have the feather in our cap to be able to say, man, look at our national championship track team. Look at our baseball team. Look how they're doing. Look at our basketball team. They're at the top of the league, no matter who the coach is. And then when you bring in a coach who is used to getting 5-star players, our fan base explodes with excitement. So I see both sides of an issue of wanting to be extremely competitive in football. But to be honest, we've sacrificed that based on the number of quality players that go to SEC teams who have national championship pedigrees versus us. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think there are some that leave the state, just like there are some that leave a lot of states. Sometimes, and I know this happens in recruiting, you go in and get a player from another state just because it kind of makes the other program look bad. I've not seen an abundance of players leave the state that went on to become stars. There are some who have. There's 3 or 4 here and there that you think, man, we it sure would have been nice to have had that guy. But, and I think this is sometimes universal in college football. The good players, the great players, you can go anywhere and play. Some of the others, they go to places and they just don't ever get to play. I mean, Alabama used to come in, sign a bunch of players. Those guys never played much. Got kids going to Auburn now. They're not going to play much. We've had kids go to Auburn before. Some of them played, not that much. So, I mean, I don't think that's the reason that the program has struggled, because they've lost the best in-state players. I don't believe that.
When we have a great in-state class, when you have more players in-state than normally would be a D1 SEC player in a year, that's when Arkansas has had success.
Well, you look at, I mean, when you're talking about, people say, when they say, I want you to compete in the SEC, what they're really saying is, I want you to compete for an SEC championship. That's what they're really saying. 5-5, 3-4, that's competing. It's not winning. It's not winning at the level you want, but it is competing. So let's be honest enough to say we don't just want them to compete, we want them to win at a championship level. You look at our state over the last, and I'll go back 20 years. How many players have we produced that were really championship level in the SEC? McFadden, Mallett, Jarius Wright,
Joe Adams,
Childs, Adams.
Chris Gregg could have played for anybody.
But what I'm saying is, you go back 20 years, the number's less than 10. Yeah. Number's less than 10. It's hard to compete for a championship when your state doesn't turn out championship-level players. McFadden's our greatest Razorback.
Jones, if you go back further.
Well, but respectfully, even to Matt, who I loved, is Matt going to win the SEC for you at quarterback? You know, I mean, obviously they had they went to Atlanta and all that stuff. But, you know, when you're talking about a guy that's going to win you the SEC, he's got to be a generational guy around here. Now, at Georgia, Alabama, some of these other places, well, they got a McFadden coming through every 3, 4, 5 years. We've had it once in my lifetime. Once. And that's just the cold, hard reality. Nobody likes to hear that. I don't like it. But our state just has not produced those type players that can win you a championship. What they produce are players that can compete in the SEC. They can compete, but they can't win at the level that people want them to. It's not a knock on anybody. It's just looking at the data over the last 30 years. It's just the truth.
Cecil's in Fort Smith. Hey, Cecil, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, fellas. I've heard several guys call in. And my son is interrupting me. And I just want to say I appreciate my state. I appreciate the games that we have at Razorback Stadium. We have played all top ranked teams. You know, they could have scheduled a bunch of sorry teams at home, and we would have won. It would still been the same outcome basically. we played a really good game against Texas. I took several pictures with Texas fans. They were real friendly, and they love the stadium. They love the city and everything. It's just that, we made a few mistakes and we lost the game. Every time you lose a game or every time you win a game, you could draw up what the plays that really won the game. I mean, if we wouldn't have fumbled, where I was sitting, it looked like it was a pass interference. Green threaded the ball through 3 defenders. I'm not blaming him for that. It was great plays called. They wasn't executed. It was a reflected ball interception. So, I mean, it's just the way it is, man. And just like Chuck said, we're in a hell of a conference, man. And if you really just look at it, the way they have the playoffs set up now, they did the Razorbacks a favor. Because sooner or later, we're going to finish 4th. And we'll be in the playoffs. And that'll be great. A lot of people don't see it that way, though. But I don't have a lot of money. I'm happy I'm able to go to the games and take my son, have a nice weekend and everything like that. And just buying a ticket is contributing to the Razorback Foundation.
Yes, it is.
Buying stuff up there and all of that. But I do appreciate my Hogs. I don't have nothing bad to say about them. And we got one more game, and let's go Hogs at home, and let's try to win out and get ready for basketball season. Y'all have a blessed day.
Hey, thanks, Cecil. That's just a level-headed thought, in my opinion. What he said there, historically, you can buy in that. You can buy into that. That Arkansas can finish in the top 4 of this league. You can buy into that. And if you finish in the top 4 in this league, you're probably going to be in the playoff. You can buy into that. Like, that's something that could happen every once in a while. I get that. Like, but if that's where you're thinking you're going to be every year, you're just asking, or you're wanting something that's just never happened here before. Just realize that.
We need a microphone for Bart. Go ahead, Bart.
Here now, Bart Pullman.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Live in the, what room is it right now?
Well, I think it's the Situation Room.
The Situation. It's always the Situation.
Right.
Let's just go to Situation Room. Here he is.
So somebody, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Eddie earlier. Brought up the revenue, and like where and how rich the athletic department is and everything. So, our Arkansas is 20th, the latest rankings, 20th nationally in terms of revenue. Okay, that's really good, and you'd be silly to suggest anything other than that. Here's the problem: that's 11th in the SEC.
Isn't that amazing?
So if you just say you made a football schedule based on revenue against those teams ahead of the Razorbacks, you're 0-11 or you're 0-10 just based on revenue. So how can you have a top 20 program year in and year out when you're going to have that many losses? Now, obviously, it doesn't work that way. In fact, this year, Arkansas has beaten Auburn and beaten Tennessee, 2 programs that bring in more revenue. But my point is, it's hard to gain any standing when you're that far down in the conference, even though it's really good nationally.
Well, and you could make the argument that Arkansas is a top 20 football program.
Sure.
The problem is they don't play anybody that would help you indicate that.
That's right.
They don't get to play anybody else who's fighting for that spot. Rarely are they playing anybody that's fighting to be a top 25 team. They're playing people that are in the top 15 routinely.
Yeah.
Well, it's like what you said earlier and what Cecil brought up, when you talk about, it's if you finish in the top 4 of the SEC, you do realize if you're in the top 4 of the SEC, you're going to be a top 10 team. And you do realize when you look at the history of Arkansas football, there aren't very many times that Arkansas has been a top 10 team, particularly since they joined the Southeastern Conference. Arkansas, as Cecil said, they could have scheduled a bunch of lousy opponents. That's the point. The SEC makes the schedule for you. They did schedule UAB. They did schedule Louisiana Tech. But it's all these other teams that you have to play. You don't have any choice. You can't say, I don't think we want to play Texas this year.
They also scheduled Oklahoma State this year, who turned out to be terrible, but they weren't terrible when they played Arkansas. And they scheduled Notre Dame for next year.
Well, and you're also going to play
Memphis.
Arkansas State next year.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's a game you won't be favored in, but it's going to be one of those games you better win.
It's a rivalry game.
You better win.
Yeah.
You think
I
it
mean,
doesn't
it'll
matter?
feel
We'll
like
lose
a
that
rivalry
game.
game.
Lose that game.
Yeah.
And see how much it
Yeah,
matters.
don't mess around and find out on that. 7:34 is the Chuck and Bo Show. More of your calls coming up.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, first and foremost, congratulations on the official launch of the Chuck and Bo Show. I want to know, how did you guys decide which name went first, Chuck or Bo? Was that a flip of the coin?
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Thank you all for your show. It's a great format in the morning. It's really nice to have knowledgeable people to wake up to and listen to. So thank you all.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Z Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure and get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center, 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas power pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
When I need a place to stay in Northwest Arkansas, I always choose the Inn at the Mill. It's centrally located in the heart of NWA at the Johnson exit off I-49 and is the most unique choice of hotels in the region. Whether you're in town for the game, a concert at the Amp, business travel, or just a weekend away, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious, clean room ready for you. Reserve your stay at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800, or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jazzco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your custom or buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Did your spouse move out and take the Christmas decorations with her? Mock Legal Solutions is here to help with your divorce and your decorations. On Friday, November 22nd, ESPN Radio will be live all day from our conference room in Fort Smith. Tune in or drop in for the morning rush, halftime, and wrap up the day with the ESPN equivalents of Cousin Eddie, Ruskin, and Zach. Sign up on hitthatline.com to register for our Christmas giveaway. Walmart gift cards and one fully decorated Christmas tree will be given away. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
You serious, Clark?
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
A lot of times critics don't know what the hell they're talking about, and I don't think they know much what they're talking about on this one either.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I got something to say, Chuck.
Say it loud and proud.
Sydney and NWA. We're a mediocre state, mediocre leadership, mediocre talent. Fans just need to accept being mediocre. Okay, I'm going to try to articulate this as best I can. What we have tried to do, at least I think what both Chuck and I have tried to do in doing this show, is just have some thoughtful conversation. So however you feel about the direction of the program, obviously it's your opinion. You can do whatever you want with that. You can go get a billboard and apparently not even put your name on it and be a billboard gangster from afar and anonymous. Do whatever you want. But the idea of being mediocre does not mean that you should aspire to stay there. It just means that if you're making decisions based on somebody's performance, that you have to take into consideration what's usually been done in that job. So if you're going to hire a salesperson and they consistently perform about where all the other salespeople in that same position have performed, and you look at them and you say, that's not enough, you're fired, we got to do better, that's okay, I guess. You can do that. You're the boss. But this person's saying, like, I'm doing what has always been done here. You're asking me to do something that's never really been done here before. And that's all we're saying. Like, it's where Arkansas is right now. They've had some good moments. They've had some bad moments in the season. They lost a game they shouldn't have lost at Oklahoma State. They've won a game they shouldn't have won against Tennessee. They're 500. They got 2 games left to finish above 500 or finish below. We'll see what happens. Chances are they're going to have at least 6 wins. Going into the season, I think a lot of people thought that was acceptable for where the program is today. That's so this idea of, I just get so tired of hearing people act like when we on this show or other people try to talk about it from a reasonable standpoint, it doesn't mean that you have to like Pittman. It doesn't mean that you can't want a new coach. It just means like, this is where it's been. Like, to ask for more is asking for unprecedented. So just understand that's what you're asking for. Don't act like the job is being grossly mismanaged and underperformed right now. Because that's not, the evidence is not that compared to what we've been here since joining the SEC most years. Not the unicorn year or two when you had like 22 really good players that came out of the state of Arkansas in a 2 or 3 year period. Many of which went on to play at the next level. Difference makers. That's a unicorn year. David's in Searcy. Hey, David, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Well, those are all good points, Bo, and that's why I listen to you guys. I had us at 6-6 this season, and honestly, when you looked at the schedule and saw where the teams were ranked that we were going to play, I thought that would be a very feasible accomplishment, or be a good accomplishment if we could accomplish that. And does that mean I want to accept mediocrity? No, we won 4 games last year, and we all remember where we were back before that. But it all, I don't want to beat a dead horse. It all boils down to money in order for Arkansas to get to the next level. And if you will allow me to give my opinion, which is what you gentlemen do, that's why people call in. I do not believe that the John Calipari thing was a happen chance meeting at the Final Four. I don't believe that. I believe his buddy John Tyson called him and said, man, those people are crucifying you. If you would ever consider coming here, I will lay the money on the table. And then I believe the ball got rolling. In the football program, last year, I heard a car dealer from Arkansas who was buddies with Bobby Petrino state on public radio that he called Bobby Petrino personally and said, Bobby, we need an offensive coordinator. Your coach is gone. Would you be interested in coming back here? And Bobby said, yes. And then the car dealer said, why? He said, because the state of Arkansas has treated me and my wife better than any place I've ever been, and I would love a chance to redeem myself. And the car dealer said, good enough for me. That's all I needed to know. And then he got the ball rolling. There's things going on, people, that we don't know, Leonard Skinner. I sound like Eddie, good Lord. It's going to take approximately, in my opinion, $12 million to get the football program to where all of these people want it to be. No longer can we say we have Mississippi, and that keeps us from being on the bottom. No, Mississippi's not on the bottom anymore, people. I believe that someone in Northwest Arkansas who is giving millions to art galleries and stuff, and I worked for their company for 33 years in distribution. There's nobody in that company, I don't think, that's fixing to start donating millions of dollars to the football program. So I believe we are until that happens, I believe we are where we're going to be, and a bowl game will be good, and that's just where we're at. If someone was to say, I will donate $12 million, well, they're going to have a coach, because even if you pay these players all this money to buy you a quarterback, 3 offensive linemen, which is really what this team needed. I saw how the defense performed the other day. Until someone dishes the money out, we're going to be trying to make a bowl game. That's not Coach Pittman's fault. That's not Taylor Green's fault. Taylor Green could have won 9 games with the offensive line if he'd been on Texas. Texas would win 9 games this year. I guarantee you. It's all money, and it's a sad situation, but that's the world we live in.
David, thanks for the call. We got to hit a break. We'll react to that and take more of your reaction on the Chuck and Bo Show. 747, good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Rick's in Fayetteville. Rick, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's a privilege to talk with you guys, and I love the Razorbacks.
Did you know the CDC reports as many as 3 out of 4 Americans suffer from sleep disorders? The more severe condition is called obstructive sleep apnea, and if left untreated, can increase the risk of death by 17%. It can also lead to conditions like obesity, high blood pressure, heart condition, and stroke. If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options, and thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies provided by one of our own Arkansas surgeons, Dr. Scotty Bolding, there are alternative treatments that may eliminate the need to wear CPAP every night. Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better. Call Dr. Bolding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation, and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, now more than ever, it's important to partner with a well-trained real estate professional, someone who understands all the ins and outs of the game and makes sense of all the things we read about in the real estate market every day. That's why I've partnered with Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, from the very beginning. And that's why I recommend them to you. I remember the first time I bought a home. I didn't have any idea what was going on. They did, fortunately, and they guided me through the process. They listened. And perhaps that's the most important thing. You want someone on your side of the table who understands your needs and who listens. Now, they've got offices in Northwest Arkansas. They're in Fayetteville and Bentonville. They're in the River Valley as well in Fort Smith. You hear us talking about their office in Branson. You're going to see their yellow signs all over town. And you can log on to WeichertGriffin.com. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't know what odd time is for you, but yeah, you got here before the show started.
Whatever. Hey, have you ever seen anyone that takes so much pride in being the first one here?
Arkansas is special. Our people are honest and hardworking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is pure Arkansas. We were raised here, we live here, and we're straight shooters. Unfortunately, out-of-state lawyers who care nothing about Arkansas are advertising for your legal business. They don't understand that you don't hand Arkansans a pile of cow dung and try to tell us it's a rose. Don't be just a number. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You got witchcraft going on up there in Kansas City, man. I mean, they do. There's like weird stuff going on.
Okay, tell me more.
I'm just saying that when's the last time you saw a kick like that blocked at the end of the game?
No, not in the NFL.
Exactly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Feels like we just started.
Chiefs got beat yesterday.
They
Did you guys
did
watch
get beat.
that?
I did. I saw
Did
that.
you revel in it?
No, I like the Chiefs winning.
I expected
generally
them to
root for
come back and win.
America's team. That's what I root for.
I thought they were going to come
Chiefs.
back and win when it was 24 to whatever it was. But then when they scored again, it was
as a casual Chiefs fan, I was happy for them to lose, and I'll tell you why. You just got to get it out of the way. You got to get some losing done this part of the year. Get back to playing football. You know, you're not going to beat everybody. You can't win every game. Like I heard Steve Levy, I think he called the game national radio, and he said that they were celebrating in Miami because, the Dolphins undefeated. Like,
cracking open. Well, they were. That's what they do. That's what they do every year.
They had a picture. They had a picture of one of those old farts with a beer cracked open. Like,
Those old farts went undefeated in a National Football League season, Bart.
That's great.
That's nothing. That's
The
nothing
autumn
for
wind.
That's nothing for some youngster like you to poo-poo there and make it sound like it's no big deal.
I'm not saying it's not.
When's the last time your team went undefeated in an NFL season? Has it ever happened?
It hasn't happened.
What are they right now? 4-7?
Yeah,
What kind of question is that? Of course it hasn't.
My point is
That's why they celebrate in Miami.
I'm over the like everybody like all the pictures and videos come out of the Dolphins from 70 years ago celebrating like whatever.
Larry
man.
Zonka. There's Larry Zonka.
There's Larry Zonka
Rick
cracking open a
and
beer.
Lowell.
Look,
It was
man.
not 70 years ago.
Well, I know it was in the 70s.
It's just, it's like, I mean,
Chuck
you're,
had to get that in.
Well, you're the one that always talks about, like, well, we got to get it right.
Sorry,
We
Rick.
got to get it right. We got to get it right. Well, it hadn't been 70 years.
It's called hyperbole,
Well,
exaggeration.
Well, but
Let's go.
I understand.
Good morning, Rick. Good luck. Hop on in here.
Good,
At
yeah.
your own risk.
I'm going to try to jump in here. Hey, Bo, you made the point a while ago. Actually, you took the words out of my mouth. The unicorn year that we had, or the years over the years that we've had, you can get that generational player, but at the same time, we've got to get the other 21 players around them. And that's just where we've struggled over the last probably, we'll say 10 years, is you get that generational player, but we don't. This year's a perfect example. That defensive line and that offensive line has a lot of work to do. If we had the Darren McFadden or the Felix Jones or the Matt Jones, when you've only got, when you go to do a seven-step drop and 3 steps into that 7, you're getting tackled. You can be that generational player, but you're not going to make it happen. You can't put all that. You can't put the whole season on one talented player's shoulders. So
No, but, I mean, we've had 2 generationals in my lifetime, McFadden and Mallett. We were pretty good those years.
When you have them, it's also easier to recruit or get into the transfer portal around that player
That's right.
as well. I mean, people, they want to go places where there's good momentum.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and click on the Sweat No Edge.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
We bring in players. They didn't grow up with a Woo victory. They don't bleed hot red. They bleed money.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Z Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
The best things never change, they just get better. Like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Choose from juicy charbroiled double cheeseburgers, melty hot ham and cheeses, or hand-breaded chicken tender wraps. 2 full-size favorites plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. There's no skimping in this bag. No junior burgers or tiny nuggies, just full-size goodness for big-time value. The $6.99 Original Bag, only at Hardee's. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Waldron Wave Rural Connects. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, clouds, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the upper 60s north, mid-70s south, with the potential for some heavier rain. Partly to mostly cloudy skies. Chance of seeing some showers tonight. And overnight low will drop down to right around 50. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal? I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Is someone special to you missing out on life because of foot pain? Let's face it, if your feet hurt, you don't want to go anywhere. Give the gift of freedom. Check out our store for all kinds of options to benefit your special someone. We have perfect gifts for those suffering from a variety of foot issues, such as plantar fasciitis, bunions, tendonitis, diabetes care, neuropathy, or just tired and achy feet. Visit us today at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Have you tried the TGI Friday weekday deals? On Monday, they have 50-cent wings, traditional or boneless, 10-piece minimum. Tuesday, cheeseburgers and fries with a fountain drink for $10. On Wednesday, Cajun shrimp and chicken pasta for only $12. On Thursday, enjoy a half a rack of ribs for only $12. Stop by and check out the weekday deals at TGI Fridays, I-540 at Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. In here, it's always Friday.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I'm a lurker. That's what I am. I lurk on Facebook. I live through other people.
What's that actually called, Bart?
Like stalking, internet stalking?
No. I'm lurking on the side, just kind of checking it out.
The churched up creeper into lurker.
You guys are turning it into something else. I'm just saying.
That's what it's called.
I just observe. I'm an observer.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to
Save Sports Radio.
Ready to roll right now,
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
You guys kind of gang up on me every once in a while. You know, you play these drops here, the bits, the intros, whatever it is you guys call them.
Well,
I can't help but notice. I can't help but notice.
Yeah, the buck stops here, but I'm not in charge of that.
That's Bart's problem, or Bart's department, not problem, department.
There's no safe haven on the Chuck and Bo show. Everybody's fair game. We've all been criticized, made fun of. If we could just get someone to do a billboard talking about, you know, how we don't need to be here or something like that.
Let's finance our own billboard.
We could maybe we could just get a few more
Kick in some
eyeballs. And we do love everybody that watches the show on YouTube and X/Twitter at Chuck and Bo Show. Follow us on social. You can see the show streamed. You can listen to it on Hit That Line, the Hit That Line Now app. Listen to it here on the radio. We've had a great time interacting so far today with Razorback fans. We still don't have an answer. Well, you know, Bart brought this up during the break, Chuck, that you know nobody's happy with 5-5 or 500. Like the coaches, the players, the administration, nobody's happy. Everybody's trying to fix it. Well, what's the fix? And what always comes down to, it seems like with fans, is just a change in leadership will fix it all. Well, how many years we've been trying that?
A lot. I mean, we've tried to fire our way out of this for a long time. I mean, we've gotten really good at firing guys, and you know, quite frankly, we've talked about this before. There are times coaching search is more appealing to fans than the actual games, and I know that.
That's like the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight. It's entertaining for the idea of it, but not necessarily the result of it.
I understand people want to be better in football than they are right now. I get that. And here's the thing that I do think people should understand. Some do, some don't. Some don't want to understand. There's not a single person over there that walks into that building and go, man, thank God we're 5-5. Thank God we're 3-4 in the league. Nobody's doing that. And most of those guys, in fact, 99% of those guys put in more hours before noon than you put in before 5. And it's just the truth. The idea that people are sitting over there fat and happy about the way things are going and counting their money, that never goes on over there. My guess would be that, and I include myself in this, I'm not saying I could put in a 16, 18-hour day and be happy about it. But most of the people have no earthly idea what goes on over there all day. They are obsessed about their jobs in a way that 90% of the rest of us are not, you know, if we're just being really honest about it. Nobody's satisfied with this. Now, I don't think people are walking around throwing things either, because that's not productive. But the idea that everyone's just saying, okay, hey, man, we're getting paid. Let's just roll on down the road. That's not what's going on. And I know some people don't believe that, and I'm never going to change your mind, and that's fine.
Well, look, I think the problem that we all have here is not a failure to communicate. Maybe it is. But the problem that we all have here is nobody likes where we are, and nobody's been able to fix it.
That's right.
And
that
where
makes any problem worse.
Where we weigh in is when the fixes aren't just an automatic fix. And we just try to call attention to that. Like, just changing leadership doesn't just fix it.
Look, I was here in 1998, Houston Nutt's first year. We thought we were going to win the national championship. We thought we were back.
Everybody was happy to have him.
He could have run for governor and won with 90% of the vote. Kind of like Kurt Signetti can right now up in Indiana. That's going to happen from time to time at programs. You're going to catch, temporarily anyway, some lightning in a bottle. You catch a team that has veteran players. If you remember when Danny Ford was fired, Arkansas had veteran players. They'd rebuilt this thing through the lines of scrimmage, and they had a team that was ready to be coached and a team that was ready to win. In the portal era, And whether we like it or not,
And Nutt was the perfect fit.
He was
at
the perfect fit at the perfect time. We're in the portal era now, and Arkansas, more than others, is going to be a portal school because of the lack of division and just numbers that come through our state. We're going to be a portal school. So the idea that you're going to be able to develop a line of scrimmage, for example, over a 2 or 3 year period, that can't happen. It's just, well, I say it can't happen. It's really hard to pull off at a portal school. You think about those early teams of Houston's, they were good on the lines of scrimmage, particularly on the offensive line. Well, those guys had played and they'd gotten beaten a lot under Danny Ford, but they played, and they were all still together. And so he comes in and he's got this huge group of guys that are upperclassmen that are just dying to be coached, dying to win. Now you got a new coach. You say you fire somebody, you bring a new coach in. Well, you better give him a bag of money because he's got to build his team. I mean, guys aren't going to stay. Nobody's going to stay. You're going to have to rebuild your whole team. And as a portal school now, that's going to be even exacerbated more, I think, at a place like Arkansas. So, and we're not the only ones. Look, I'm not saying that when things aren't going well, you just maintain the status quo endlessly. I'm not saying that. But again, we've tried to fire our way out of this over and over and over again, and it just hasn't worked. It just hasn't worked.
877-377-6963. Chuck and Bo Show, Phillips in Bentonville. Phillip, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Hey, I've got a question because I feel like that y'all could answer this truthfully. So there was an article that Kane Archer went to do his Alabama, tour, Auburn and Alabama. And I pose the question is this: is Kane Archer saying for Pittman? And what I mean by that is that he's doing so well, just like Mitch did in high school, and Greenwood's kind of running the thing is that if Arkansas does not get Kane, is this going to be kind of be a trouble and rumbling because, there was so much pressure on Houston to bring in, the Fab Five from Springdale and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, this is nothing like that.
Are we going down the same road?
No.
I don't think so.
Nothing
no.
like that.
I don't believe that's the case here.
It's nothing about the two cases are similar.
No.
Like, and by the way, I mean, I love Kane Archer as a high school quarterback. I like watching him play. I mean, he's not the National Gatorade Player of the Year.
Well, I think when you look at the physical builds of the quarterbacks around the country that are doing well, and I think that when you look at the physical builds of the quarterbacks that are performing nationwide, that's what you're going to see teams go for. Arkansas's quarterback right now is 6'6". I suspect Arkansas's next quarterback is probably going to be 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" too. And I don't know that, but that would be my suspicion.
JB, and look, Kane's a good player.
I'm not even speaking about him. He's not the only one. He's a kid from Little Rock that's down at Auburn now.
He doesn't appear to be a once in a generation
right.
talent, and that's taking nothing away from him. JB in Huntington, Arkansas. Go ahead.
Yeah, glad to be on the show with you guys.
Thank you,
appreciate
JB.
it. I just think we need to stick with what we've got. Try to get better players coming in. I'm not for firing the coaching staff. Hey, look at some of these other colleges. They're struggling too. LSU, Oklahoma State, even Oregon. They didn't look too good. Texas really didn't look that great. I didn't think. Cause, for a third-ranked team, they should have just blown us out. They didn't do it. So I think we're on the right track. We got to weather the storm. And, and go Hogs. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, JB. Hog fan in Bentonville. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. First of all, I don't know. Y'all started off the show today talking about this Netflix scam. And America did get scammed. Even across the world where the fight was pathetic. But is it not a little bit of a scam? These college football coaches who come in, underperform, and then get fired and get paid millions of dollars for getting fired.
Well,
I mean,
it's not a scam because
that
they
seems kind of-
schools agree to the contract. The agents, if you want to talk about agents getting over on college football, I mean, how we got to this point, and the buyouts. I mean, Brian Kelly's buyout's $60 million right now. If you're at LSU,
exactly.
Well, here's the thing, though. Everyone says,
they
"Well,
all
we
agree
got
to it.
now." Is it sensible to answer your question, Hog fan? Does that make any sense at all? No, it doesn't make any sense at all. By the same token, that is the market now, for better or worse. And just as when the market's set in anything else, it's difficult for one or two people to change the market.
But you know what?
In other words, you're not going to be able to hire who you want to hire unless you have a certain amount of buyout in there. Now, I will say this. I do think the buyout over the next 5 years is going to change. I don't think in the new era of schools paying players, you cannot get hung with some of these buyouts that these schools are getting hung on right now. I do think the model is going to change, but it's going to have to change collectively. There may even have to be a little behind-the-scenes collusion, quite honestly. I don't think one or two rogue athletic directors are going to say, well, by God, we're not paying that, we're not doing this payout anymore, this buyout anymore. Well, you're going to be hiring a coach nobody's ever heard of, and that's just the truth. The market's screwed up. I agree with that, but I can't sit here and tell you I know what to do about that.
you know how we got to this point?
How?
Because fans wanting coaches fired.
Well,
and then you just pull the trigger and fire them.
That's
So if you're
true.
going to hire a coach, like if Mike Norvell's hiring coordinators right now at Florida State, that coordinator is going to, if they're worth anything at all or have any resume and experience that says, hey, you got to hire this guy, that guy's going to want a 2 to 3 year guaranteed contract.
That's right.
Because he knows Mike Norvell might get fired. So when you take a job and you're recruiting a head coach, because of all the craziness in college football and fans wanting coaches fired, that's how we got the big buyouts. Because everybody wants their coach fired when they're not winning.
Every coach that's been where they are for more than 3 years, every game they lose, there's a sizable portion of the fan base that wants them fired. Now, you'll have that honeymoon period for a year or two. But once you get into that third year, pretty much every game you lose, people are calling for your head.
Bart was firing over the weekend in a good way. We got to get a locks update
Hey,
coming
Bart
up.
picked Kansas over BYU, and we mocked him. We mocked him openly to his face.
Openly.
In front of others.
And right in front of Zach Gillum.
In front of
And
God and
Sports
country.
That's
wagering.
exactly right.
At Oaklawn.
That's
Oaklawn.
exactly
Bart got in
right.
that Oaklawn Sports app, went to work this weekend. Another winning weekend for Bart. We'll get into that coming up. By the way, the new Oaklawn Sports customers that get the app can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Oaklawn, you can bet on that app. You can go to Oaklawn anywhere, bet on the races. You can go to the track. You can go to the casino. You can go to the resort. There's all kinds of stuff to do now at Oaklawn. And live racing season begins December 6th. Visit oaklawn.com for more details. December 6th, coming fast. Gosh dang, man. Thanksgiving's coming fast.
That is.
Oaklawn.
Next week?
In Hot Springs, Arkansas. I think it's a week from Thursday if you're scoring at home.
Wow.
Yeah. You're going to end up at Cracker Barrel if you don't get your
I'm going to be in
list
Kansas
together.
City with the basketball
I forgot
team.
about
I'm going to
that.
be having a
I
little
forgot
hotel
about
breakfast.
that. Oh, yeah. And I'm sure it'll be at like
Little
the
buffet.
It won't be a La Quinta Inn either. I'll tell you that.
No, it won't.
Just going to have a Thanksgiving that we all dream about. You can only imagine. Just close your eyes and think of it. 8:17. Back with your calls in a moment.
Hey, good morning. Bo, it's good to hear you back on the radio, man. I missed you in the afternoons, and you guys seem to be gelling right along. So it's good to hear both of you on morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
Just thinking, what is a Pirate's favorite college football team?
Say it, Bart.
Arkansas.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
November is the month for thankfulness, and all of us here at Crabtree RV Center in Alma are thankful for our loyal customers who voted us the best of the River Valley and the best of the best in 2024. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years. November is the month for thankfulness, and all of us here at Crabtree RV Center in Alma are thankful for our loyal customers who voted us the best of the River Valley and the best of the best in 2024. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
If your performance is like it is blocking, if your performance is in our secondary is like it in your real life, they're going to call you in the office, shut you down, look you in the eye, and tell you two simple words. Hit the road, you're fired.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
2 simple words: hit the road, you're fired.
Hit the road, you're fired.
Andy in Mountain Home. Andy, I'm so sorry that you are struggling with this, but when I said that the reason coaches have buyouts is because when teams lose, fans put pressure on athletic directors, and it makes the athletic director feel like they have to fire them. So, in essence, that's how we got the buyouts. So Andy says, so you're actually blaming the fans for this idiotic buyout system?
No one's blaming anyone. It's just,
I don't know, I don't know. Everybody plays a role.
you should be able to talk about things without like somebody saying, so you're blaming me?
Oh my
Are you
God.
blaming me? Nobody's blaming
Eddie
you.
had it right when he was quoting Dr. Phil earlier. We should have stayed there.
Well,
Eddie quoted everybody in the universe today.
I know he did. He didn't go to any musical lyrics today, though. And that told me he was angry.
Ryan isn't. Well, we cut him off after 30
Well,
minutes.
yeah,
He may
he
have
is
gotten
if he
there.
yeah.
Ryan in Greenwood. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, I know you said nobody was happy with 5-5. Well, I'm going to be the exception. Because if you went into this season and you thought we were going to win 10 or 8 games, you're an idiot. You come off of a 4-game winning season. You lose your starting quarterback. You lose your running back. You look at the schedule, and there's 7 ranked teams all in the top 20. You're unranked. So you're going to hope maybe you get 5 of those games that are unranked. 3 W's were the only thing you could see on the schedule. Now, you pulled off Auburn. You pulled off Mississippi State, and you had 5. Now, I thought Bobby Petrino would be worth a win or 2, so he'd get 1 of those 7 ranked games. And my expectations were if you could be 6-6 at the end of the season and go to a bowl game with a possibility of a 7-6, that's improvement over last year, and you're looking for improvement. Now, people are saying, well, we woulda, coulda, shoulda won these games, so therefore my expectations were higher than when the season started. But the woulda, coulda, shoulda still give you the improvement that you were looking for. So if we go 6-6 with a win over La Tech, and we actually have a good chance to beat Missouri because they are not playing as well as they have, or as well as their ranking was. If you can end up 7-5, go to a bowl game, and maybe get 8, that is a great season for me. It exceeds my expectations. I think the problem is people went into the season or during the season, changed their expectations, and wanted this to be an 8 or 10 win team when it was never going to be.
Yeah, a lot in there, and that makes sense. And I think improvement is what you're looking for. For whatever reason, people look at it and say, oh, it's not good enough, and I don't feel like the program is where it needs to be going, and so therefore we're unhappy, and we're going to take a billboard out, and we're going to put it on I-49 so the team can drive by it on the way to the game. And maybe that'll help them beat Texas.
That'll show them.
That'll get everybody fired up.
That'll show them. Let's go to Lafayette, Louisiana. William's on the line. William, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, guys.
Hey,
How y'all
William.
doing today?
Doing fine. How are you?
Yes, sir. So, look, I want to applaud y'all, right? This is a good Monday, healthy conversation I think that y'all are having. We're not pointing fingers. A lot of us aren't raising Cain, right? We're boiling it down and talking about some of the issues, right? So, Chuck, I applaud you for something you said about, the data doesn't indicate that our state produces these top-level SEC players, and I totally agree with you on that, right? I think when you even look at it more granular, right, linemen and specific, right, we don't do it. But I feel like Arkansas football has made its hay on going out and getting those under-recruited guys, right, that have a chip on their shoulder, that are willing to work and show everybody, they messed up, right? And I look at that, Houston Nutt situation, right? Everyone, last time we were flying banners and taking billboards out. Really, what did we lose with those Springdale guys? Did they go on to win multiple Heisman, lead anybody to conference championship? I didn't see it, all right? Now, you fast forward maybe another cycle or two, and you look at the Ryan Mallett, the Jarius Wright, the Greg Childs, Joe Adams, Chris Gregg, you brought him up both in that bunch. Now, they weren't nowhere. Mallett was probably recruited like that, and Adams. Right? But by and large, they weren't on that level that everyone was hyping up the Springdale bunch. Those guys produced results, okay? And, I've heard for years that you take a 4-hour radius from your campus, you map it out, there's your recruit base. And if you look at that from a 4-hour standpoint from Fayetteville, we're lacking. But I'm going to challenge you all to go 6 hours. And I'm going to be generous giving you 6. You can get to Shreveport to Fayetteville in 5.5. Longview, I think 5 and 15. Dallas and under like 5 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to give a 6-hour radius from our campus. And we could go out and we can find some boys that want to play ball for the Hogs. All right? Everyone talks about, we can't go into North Louisiana and beat LSU. I don't want to go in there and beat it. I do, but I'd rather take someone that wasn't offered by LSU that wants to come back and, by God, prove something. Okay? There's a plan. We're strategic about it where we can recade. Okay? And we just need to let the season play out, see where we are at the end of the year, and assess. But I think
Thanks for the call, William. 877-377-6963. Brian, you're up next. Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Here he is. Here he is. I knew he'd be back. I knew he'd be back.
So, Brian, I ran into some people from Ozark.
Hang on.
Hold on a second.
Let's get a little house cleaning out of the way first.
Where are you actually from, Brian? Because people in Ozark are upset. They say you're not from there. You give them a bad name. You give them a bad look.
From Ozark.
Where are you from?
I grew up in Fort Smith. I grew up in Fort Smith. I'm not from Ozark.
Where do you live?
Where do you live?
Where do you live? What town do you live in?
I live in Ozark.
Okay. All right.
You live in Ozark now?
I live in Ozark. Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
driving through Ozark right this minute. But here's the deal. I noticed that Walmart has got a sale on tissues for all the tick bag crying Razorback fans that think that Arkansas is a great program. Wipe your eyes, boys and girls, because Arkansas will never be good in the SEC. Go back to the MAC conference or USA or something. You're not an SEC football team. God bless Texas.
Whatever.
So you're not even in the league for a full year, and you think you're an SEC standard?
He's a
standard
He's
bearer.
a sniper now. He's a drive-by.
Yeah,
He's a drive-by shooter now.
We need to address some of the name calling that went on last week with Brian. Like that's what I wanted to. Hey, Brian, like,
Right.
come on, can we like rise above this?
Yeah.
I understand you're.
I'm
a
not
Texas
above
fan.
calling people names.
I
mean, what are you talking about?
I understand that you're a
I like
Texas
name
fan
calling.
and you stoop to levels and everything. But
Bart didn't care about where he lived. I forgot all about that.
It was pretty awful.
Yeah.
It was pretty awful.
Well,
man.
you took the brunt of it. Maybe that's
Well,
why.
yeah. I'd just like an apology from Brian.
Well, don't hold your breath, I don't think.
Hey, if you're suffering from sleep apnea and you don't like to wear your CPAP machine because it's uncomfortable or maybe embarrassing, that can lead to severe health problems like obesity, high blood pressure, heart condition, stroke, even death. I ran into somebody the other day that just doesn't get a lot of sleep. I'm like, you need to talk to Dr. Scotty Bolding. Because this guy hates wearing a CPAP machine, but sleep's so important, it can really raise your health risk if you're not getting it. And Dr. Bolding has some proven surgical alternatives to improve your airway that can help you breathe better. And not just at night when you need to get that sleep, but all day long. It's life-changing, literally. It's the Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine, Precedent.com, Precedent.com, the Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine. Check out your options. It can change your life. 479-755-3000 or Precedent.com. 8:30 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Is your hot water heater letting you down? No one likes cold showers. We want to be able to count on our hot water. That's why Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric has an offer that comes with the peace of mind I value. Get this, for just $17.76, you can get a 40 to 50 gallon water heater fully supplied and installed by their licensed and insured technicians backed by a comprehensive warranty. For less than $2,000? Yeah, price check it. It's a deal. Just log on to gopascal.com and don't worry about hot water anymore. Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
There's nothing like a college football Saturday, a few beers, your phone, and Twitter.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Brought to you by Bud Light. Also presented by Black Hills Energy.
Matt, is it that simple? Is it just they got to get better players, or do you see some coaching issues too?
We have some talent on this team, that's for sure. It was just something that happened early where we got a fourth down stop and then all of a sudden they get a turnover touchdown and it just kind of ballooned in the second quarter.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
deer hunting in the comfort of an enclosed 6x6 Lazy Man fiberglass box blind is affordable at Jelco Outdoors. Lazy Man Fat Girl Blinds, built here in Fort Smith with your choice of 6-foot or 10-foot tower blind platforms, starting at $22.99.99. Box blinds are great for taking the kids, with plenty of room and out of the weather. Check out the deer blinds at Jelco Outdoors. Hunt longer in the comfort of a Lazy Man box blind, sold locally at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adventure Dave will be attempting his greatest stunt yet. He will jump over 100 boats, ATVs, cars, and trucks, all at Adventure Oklahoma in Roland, brought to you by Auto Finders. Here he comes now. Adventure Dave, why did you choose Adventure Oklahoma for this stunt?
Well, Tom, Adventure Oklahoma is your one-stop shop for adventure, plus no one else would let me jump over their boats and ATVs.
Adventure Oklahoma by Auto Finders has it all. Brand new, used, that's right. CF Moto, Arctic Cat, and Segway side-by-sides and ATVs, all with a free 5-year warranty. Only offered by Adventure Oklahoma. Plus, G3 boats, Suncatcher pontoons, and Falcon bass boats with delivery up to 100 miles away. The lowest priced pre-owned vehicles in the area with 90 days to your first payment.
That's right. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a date with Destiny.
Yes, and what a jump it will be.
No, the jump is tomorrow. This is Destiny.
See y'all later. Well, until then, visit Adventure Oklahoma in Roland, brought to you by Auto Finders. AutoFindersOK.com.
Your journey starts here.
Did your spouse move out and take the Christmas decorations with her? Mock Legal Solutions is here to help with your divorce and your decorations. On Friday, November 22nd, ESPN Radio will be live all day from our conference room in Fort Smith. Tune in or drop in for the morning rush, halftime, and wrap up the day with the ESPN equivalents of Cousin Eddie, Ruskin, and Zach. Sign up on hitthatline.com to register for our Christmas giveaway. Walmart gift cards and one fully decorated Christmas tree will be given away. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
You serious, Clark?
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Even though the holidays are almost here, there is still time to get results for your body with a personal trainer right here in the River Valley from Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill. Your choice for the results you want. Black Friday BOGO personal training specials, and new members get the rest of the year for free. Even more Black Friday specials to choose from. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill on 71 North. Ask about the giveaway from our partner, First Form and Vortex Optics. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill, ready to help you train for the body you deserve. Anytime Fitness, Rye Hill.
In the communities we serve, we know your energy is best spent on the things you enjoy. That's why we're helping you save your energy with natural gas. More efficient than other energy sources, save your energy for cheering on the Hogs. Be tailgate ready with your natural gas-powered outdoor grill. Enjoy fast, cozy comfort from your natural gas fireplace when ball games get chilly. At AOG, we know your Razorback pride runs deep. Ours does too. And so does our commitment to caring for the communities we serve with always on energy. Visit AOGC.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
See, I've got this image of Clay in the fly shop by himself with a lot to say and nobody to talk to. And that and that
the dog.
And he's got the dog.
Looks at me. She looks at me like, "Would you just shut up?"
And so Clay starts just tweeting stuff out, and texting stuff out.
No, it's not tweeting.
All right,
There's no
texting.
We need you on Twitter.
Texting and Facebook.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I sat next to Clay at the game.
Did you?
Yeah, the press box.
How was
next
it?
to Clay.
How was it? Was it fun?
He talked.
Yeah.
I listened.
He regale you with stories,
He did.
tales.
He
No
did.
one weaves a tale like
He did.
Clay.
And he also told me everything that was going on in the game.
Yeah.
Hey, Clay can,
Explain it down.
Clay can break down
it
a football game.
Blocking, tackling.
100%.
Hey, like when that left tackle was ready to play, Bo,
100%.
there's no, like when Texas needed that drive, he said, I just watched the left tackle the whole drive, and he won the day. He was right.
Hey, for those
Usually
of you
is.
for those of you buying or selling a home, Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, is the name you need to remember. You know, they've been around since 1978. And we talk about turning houses into homes. I mean, a house is a shell, but you know, you want to find that correct shell because that is what gives you an opportunity to turn it into a home. And that's what they help you find. Now, there's going to come a point where you sell, and you're going to want to get the best price for your home. You're going to want qualified buyers. You're going to want a representative on your side of the table that's going to help you get that thing moved. That's what you get with Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. Total professionals, a line of communication that's going to really impress you because you're going to be abreast of everything that's going on every single day. And they do turn houses into homes, and they have been doing it since 1978. They have offices in Northwest Arkansas, Washington and Benton counties, Fort Smith, Branson, wide selection of homes, and you can check it out at WeichertGriffin.com. Bart, I'm told that I was blocking you a little bit earlier. You had stuff to say. And I was cutting you off, and you were about to I evidently make a great point.
I didn't see it that way, Chuck.
So
normally I'm the only one that does that.
The floor is yours. I was as surprised as anyone, but the floor is yours.
Well, do we want to talk about the locks?
Well, we just maybe finish where you were going with Brian. I think people wanted to hear
okay.
you were. Or was it sufficient? What you said?
I think I summed it up.
You didn't like being called names.
Well, let's just not stoop to that level.
Some of the names there were some slurs and some things in there along with the name calling.
Slurs.
Yeah. The slurs were the ones that are kind of like, let's maybe not. You want to call me stupid? That's fine. I'm not. But if you want to call me
that stuff's got to roll off your back, man. It's got to roll. If like you motivate someone to call you like a really bad name like that, it means you've gotten to them, man. And you've reached their soul.
Brian also texted in that he apologized for calling you names, and then he stands by his comments, called the Razorback fans a name, and then
it was slurish.
Crybabies.
It was slurish.
Yeah.
Slur adjacent.
Yeah. The slur adjacent, yes.
Whiny. So you went 2-1 over the weekend?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Kansas,
I believe you guys thought I was going to go 0-3, and instead we went 2-1.
So walk us through real quick.
I thought you were going to go 1-2. I thought the one you missed is the one you would get.
South Carolina, they were covering for most of the game against Missouri.
Rocket Sanders winning touchdown.
That's right. And then kind of blew it in the fourth quarter, but then ended up winning the game anyway with Rocket. Missouri no longer in the playoff discussion.
Oh, look at you. Just
turns out. Yeah.
Glowing.
Yeah.
Go ahead and say it, M-I-Z. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
M-I-Z. M-I-Z.
I know you want to.
Yeah.
Eli.
He'll
rattle off something, and then he'll go M-I-Z and walk off.
Georgia -10. Bulldogs covered against Tennessee. Strong second half from them. And then Kansas +3 won the game outright against BYU, which we called on the locks. You
did call it.
No, we didn't call it. You called it.
I didn't buy it.
I thought you were insane.
I didn't like it at all.
So good weekend, and then just quick shout out to the New Mexico Lobos, upset number 18 Washington State, first top 20 win for them since 1994. So big weekend there in Albuquerque.
Does
Bronco Mendenhall.
Does Washington State did they get a ring? Like, do they get a ring for winning what's left of the Pac-12?
That's a great
do you
question.
get that?
That's a great question, Chuck.
I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, I don't think they can afford that.
I don't know.
I don't think they have any
never
money
know.
out there. By the way, does anybody think Washington State's actually a top 20 team? See, this is another back to the discussion of who you play. People are talking about Georgia right now and how the committee's not doing them right because of the schedule they play. I would make the same argument all the way down at like an Arkansas's level
no question.
of the they've played 6 teams that were ranked in the top 25 at the time they played the game. 6. The only other team that's done that this year is South Carolina. You get no credit for that. We just base it on records. So if you think, like, for example, and I know people probably don't care about this, but if Arkansas played the equivalent of Washington State every week, whom New Mexico just upset, and you're, big night in Albuquerque, right? If Arkansas played the equivalent of that team every week, what would their record be today?
If we could just play in the Big Sky Conference.
That's right.
If they just bring back
the Montanas of the world.
I come at it that way, Chuck, to help maybe understand, help some people get their brain around, like you're playing top 10 teams every week. That has something to do with your record.
You're playing a bowl game against a top 10 team pretty much every Saturday. You think about Arkansas's history, the people that talk about, I want to go back to the good old days. In the good old days, Arkansas would win about 8 games, and then they'd play one of these SEC teams in a bowl game and get beat. That's what happened a lot. I was there. I mean, look at our history. 8-9 wins, go to a bowl game, play an SEC team, lose. We're playing those teams every Saturday now. Every Saturday. Those are the teams we're playing. So when you look at the history of our program and you're really honest about it, what's happening now is pretty much what was happening then too. We just weren't in the same conference.
And by the way, that doesn't mean everybody should just be happy with it. I feel like we got to say a disclaimer every time.
Well,
that's not what we're
saying. As long as you understand. And look, I mean, everyone can have their own requirements. And I'm not saying that your requirements, your own personal requirements are wrong. But just understand that what you are asking for is for a coach to do something that no other coach here has done consistently. I mean, look, I love Frank Broyles as much as anyone. You think, look back at his record. There's 3 or 4 times in those years he'd have been fired in the modern era of college football. Wouldn't have made it till next season. And it's, again, we've gotten really good at trying to fire our way out of situations, and it hadn't worked yet.
I had one final.
I mean, it's just the truth.
I had one final just kind of point of clarification, because this is a topic that's come up on the show numerous times over the past several weeks.
But please.
It's about Kane Archer. And Bo, you said it really well earlier. Like, Kane's a great player. He's really fun to watch. He's going to have a chance to be a successful college quarterback. But I want to point out to people, because I feel like a lot of people don't realize this, Arkansas already has a quarterback commit in that class who is, now just 24/7 sports rankings, who is ranked 39 spots higher than Kane Archer in their rankings. So, again, that's just one group's opinion. That's just 24/7 sports opinion. But Arkansas already has a quarterback committed in that class.
Well, what you're doing is you're just bringing facts to like Chuck was just talking. Just understand this.
Right.
You can have the same opinion.
Yeah.
But did you know that?
Right.
Probably not. We just grab onto
to
things and run with them as like, well, this is the answer.
Right.
I mean, if I let you pick, if I had this kind of poll where I could just say, pick any coach in the country you want, you name them the head coach at Arkansas, pick anybody you want. Anybody. Who you pick? Let's just say you picked Kirby Smart because he's the hottest thing going in college, the highest paid coach in college football. He's having a hard time winning 10 games at Georgia. Think about that for a second. Just think about it for a second. In fact, we'll give you the break to just let it wash over you. At Georgia. It's hard to win 10 games there. Brought to you in part by sorry for the yelling. I got a little. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank, Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric, the Fayetteville Auto Park, Flight by Yingling, and Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. We're talking about 10 games.
Talking about practice.
Practice?
Playoffs.
We're going to break now. Break.
Chuck, I believe this is all your fault.
Yeah,
I believe
thank you.
All
right, thank you. And it's because he doesn't have YouTube TV for starters.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You know, for me, when it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's just one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. And they don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you every step of the way. So whether it's a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or maybe just treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold.
DG Yingling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Did you know the CDC reports as many as 3 out of 4 Americans suffer from sleep disorders? The more severe condition is called obstructive sleep apnea, and if left untreated, can increase the risk of death by 17%. It can also lead to conditions like obesity, high blood pressure, heart condition, and stroke. If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options, and thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies provided by one of our own Arkansas surgeons, Dr. Scotty Bolding, there are alternative treatments that may eliminate the need to wear CPAP every night. Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better. Call Dr. Bolding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey alongside my man, Matt Zimmer. And it's a great time to be a Razorback.
Embrace the ho!
Whether it's a touchdown, a slam dunk, or a grand slam.
Big Suey, they were doing all the stuff. I went in there to get something to eat, and they're cheering. I'm like, what is going on here?
We're here with the excitement and insight you crave.
Well, you're giving me goosebumps now, you know.
It's the Razorback Daily from the team at Sport and Store.
That might be our best episode ever.
Available wherever you listen to your podcast each morning.
Good morning, Smack Daddy. What's happening?
What's up, Bald Brotherhood?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Get ready for the biggest sporting event of the year in the Arklahoma area. Modern Gun Deer Season 2024 and Jelco Outdoors has everything you need to have a great hunt. Hunting clothing and boots, rifles, ammo, tree stands, ground blinds, cover scents, feeders, knives, rangefinders, and everything you need for all the family to have a great deer season. Jelco wishes all the hunters good luck and safe hunting. From your friends at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
In the communities we serve, we know your energy is best spent on the things you enjoy. That's why we're helping you save your energy with natural gas. More efficient than other energy sources, save your energy for cheering on the Hogs. Be tailgate ready with your natural gas-powered outdoor grill. Enjoy fast, cozy comfort from your natural gas fireplace when ball games get chilly. At AOG, we know your Razorback pride runs deep. Ours does too, and so does our commitment to caring for the communities we serve with Always On Energy. Visit AOGC.com.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I really appreciate freshness.
Yeah.
Just in general, across the board.
I know you do. When I think of Bo, I think of fresh.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Just a daily reminder to take your personal hygiene seriously.
Clean.
Old Coach in Fayetteville, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, Chuck, this is, I would say, old Coach, enjoying your show this morning, and like to say what I would say if I had a hotline to Hunter Yurachek.
All right.
What I would say, basically, is this. I would never use that, by the way, because he's a brilliant man. But we've got 3 of arguably the best people in the country at their positions. Nobody doubts Bobby Petrino's prowess as an offensive coordinator. We've got the hottest defensive coordinator prospect in the country, and we've got the best offensive line coach in the country. That is our head coach, who's learning quickly to be a head coach. The first thing I would do if I was Hunter Yurachek is secure those guys. The next thing I would do is take our money, what there is, prioritize and keep the ones we've got to keep that are proven players for us, and then do the same thing with the portal. The answer to everything for us, I think, is build that collective. I think it ought to be almost a requirement for somebody that wants to fire a coach to have put $5 in the collective. Everybody needs to be in that collective. Those are the things I think are realistic, and I think that they need to happen if we're going to move forward as a portal school. And that's all I've got to say, Chuck.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Interesting. I don't know about agreeing on the top spots in the country. A lot of really good offensive coaches in college football in today's game. But let's just say that you go with what he said and you agree with his opinion. T. Will at times has looked like a great coordinator. He said Pittman's quickly learning to become a coach. Let's just say you go with all that. He's right about the other stuff. I mean, the idea here, when you get past all the noise, Chuck, is to look at what worked this year, what didn't work, improve on it, get better from the portal, and take the money that you're going to have to do that. And they're going to get that rev share this year, and we'll have another reset with college football again next year because of the rev share money that's going to be coming in the summer. It's going to be different again, and we'll see how that shakes out.
The revenue sharing is the most significant rule change that's come down the pike in college sports and forever. I don't think there's ever been anything as important as what we're seeing right now. One thing that's happening right now is I think they already know. In fact, I know they already know, for example, how many linemen they want out of the portal, who they've got to replace, who they think's going to leave. There's always 1 or 2 that perhaps leave that you don't think will. And there's going to be 1 or 2 that you keep that you don't think you will keep, but you do. So that's going on right now. And one of the reasons, very frankly, that Sam Pittman said I'm going to have my surgery right after the Missouri game is so he can be ready for portal season, because that's where Arkansas is going to make or break themselves in many respects for next year. I believe that. You're going to have more money to spend this year because of the revenue share. It's going to come from a different spot, but you're going to have a little bit more. And so that's going to be a really important deal. But they've already got mapped out. I mean, we're way too late in the game to start mapping it out. They've already got it mapped out.
Yeah, they're working on it. Obviously, everybody.
They're working on it as we speak, literally.
Chuck's going to call a basketball game tonight.
Yep, that's right.
Pacific, first ever meeting between Pacific and Arkansas, so history will be made. And Chuck will call the game. It's also on ESPN Plus. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state, and you can add Flyway Brewing to the list. A craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013, with popular flavors like Blue Wing Berry Wheat